Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is Soldier of Light reporting for duty. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in tonight, for all of you who are here in the chat, and all your continued supports, as well as the beautiful souls that will be watching this video sometime maybe after this show if you haven't had a chance to catch it live. I just got a new microphone, so I want to see if anyone can kind of give me a quick clear, you can hear me okay? If I can get a 5.5 loud and clear, that'd be great. Let's see here. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me see. I'm waiting for a response here. You guys able to hear me okay? Loud and clear. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to make sure because this new microphone, I haven't heard it yet. And there was a suggestion about me getting another microphone. So I went and got a new one. So I just want to make sure this one is good to go. Okay. So now that I know everything is working great, thank you guys once again for tuning in. Thank you for all the supports. And as I mentioned before, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe. If you know anyone who, may just be interested in listening to some things that are coming down the horn, recommend my channel, recommend the Light Warrior Network with Jason. That's also an amazing channel that's continuing to just build and build and build, and we're really excited about that. And also, if you guys are into music as well, I'm not trying to sell things for anybody. Just if you want, you're interested, the links are in my description for Jason and the Light Warrior Network channel, as well as my nephew, Austin. He has a soul or an individual channel that he's putting some of his cover work on, besides all the stuff that he did with his band, that he wrote all the parts and all the musical stuff for that, for the 4 albums that they've done. So now he's just going more into the personal side, and I feel like he's definitely got God-given talent. He was self-taught, so I just want to promote him. He's got great energy. To me, when I hear his voice sing, it's amazing. Like he has this special spot in his voice that's very God-given, and it's very harmonic to my ears. Maybe not for everybody, but I'm just saying that's it's some people when I hear it, you just know. And he's been working at it for a long time, and it's something that he just loves to do. So if you get a chance, check out some of his music. He does an amazing Over the Rainbow cover that he does. So check him out if you haven't. His name is Austin. His channel link is in the description in my video. I was going to bring a little bit of truth on tonight, like I always do, but you know what? I'm going to kind of save some of that for tomorrow's show with Jason, because it's just, I feel like this channel is more for individual, kind of keeping things, just focused for whatever questions you may have. Some of you may tune in, some of it may be hard for you to listen to for a while, because the questions do take me some time to get to, but I'm not going to take as many questions as I did last time. I'm doing about 40 or so questions a night is what it's been working out to be. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. But tonight I think I'm going to cap it about the 20 mark, so I don't have, so it's not so long for some of you who are answering or asking questions about your questions taking so long to get to. I apologize. I work as fast as I can, and I'm going to read until it's time for me to not read, because that's how my guides work. And one thing I do notice, though, tonight on since we're talking about tarot, is, and just in general, I've been seeing a lot of a lot more videos with people discussing tarot and being careful with it, and people have had bad experiences with these things. And so far, what I'm seeing from these videos are people who probably shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, started off with, different intentions than what mine are. And I'm very careful. I feel like that's something they weren't ready at that point. I feel like I've been doing this many lifetimes because it just came to me so quickly. So I feel like this is just me remembering something that I already knew how to do. And I feel with some of these other people that I've seen, just general, that maybe they just probably weren't ready for the things that they were maybe getting, or just the energies maybe that they were channeling. They were just opened themselves up to whatever energies they wanted to use or whatever was around. And sometimes dark can come in and masquerade as a being of light. And that's what the dark does. As I mentioned, demon comes with handshakes and smiles, and it's something I want you guys to all be aware of. Even people you feel sometimes may have your best interests, or they love you, or they say they love you, and they say they want the best for you. That's really not the case, because there's a motive sometimes with what they're telling you. And it's just to kind of let you to get your guard down, and then from there, then they kind of infiltrate, and that's how the dark works. They pick at you, they pick at you, they pick at you until your guard is down, you're weak. Things are kind of just started rolling downhill, and you're not feeling well. Then that's when it's trying to jump on you when you're your weakest. So that's what we talk about in the beginning of all these shows, and at the end is always kind of just keeping your vibe as high as you can. And I feel, before we get started, I feel like I want to do, I want everyone to recall their energy. And I feel like this is something that we can do together. And I feel like this is something we should probably do now. So what I want you guys to do is just close your eyes real quick. And I want you to slow your breathing down, because we don't do that enough. We're breathing is too fast. It's too shallow. And our body doesn't have time to kind of release some of these things that we hold on to. So I want you to slowly breathe in through your nose. And every breath out, we slow our breathing down. Every breath in, we breathe in the divine breath of life from God, the creator of all. And every breath out, we release all things that do not belong. Now, before we get started, I want you to call in your energy, your intention. I recall all of my energy now that has been given away freely, or that has been taken from me. I sever all energy ties, all energy binds, all curses, all hexes, all family hexes, curses, spiritual contracts. I sever them now, and I send them back into the light with God for forgiveness and healing. And I recall all of my energy now, renewed, replenished, energized, healed, and strong. So be it, and so it is, and so it shall be. So that's something just to do, just a quick little couple seconds like that. Slows your breathing down, gets things into alignment. It really is just kind of a thing to do on a regular basis. We don't do that enough. We don't recall our energy enough. We just constantly give it away, and it's taken from us. So I feel like that was the biggest thing, even when you're flying high, like feeling real great, good and everything, just continue to push through, and continue to call your energy back. Because your energy is so powerful at that point, because it's replenished, it's healed, and you're calling it in with abundance, and you're calling it in with love and light and wholeness. So that's kind of where I want the biggest message from Spirit is for you guys to continue to just work on recalling your energy. That's a big part of this process, because that's self-healing when you recall this energy around you. And that's why we get drained a lot of times. We stay drained. We feel tired. We feel lost. We feel, even for me, my dark circles are getting better because I've been recalling more of my energy. And that's been my problem. I feel like I sleep okay, but I have dark circles. So there's things that we're doing, and they're getting better now, because these are things like I wake up and I'm feeling like I'm off. The last couple of days I've been feeling great. I've been changing my routine a little bit, and it's been good. So I'm really happy about that. And that's what it comes down to, just changing that little bit of routine. No matter what it is, changing that little bit kind of reprograms everything in the body and all the energy around you. So definitely amazing things coming. If you haven't had a chance, check out my last video poll that I did, because I kept getting downloads before I even pulled. They kept telling me, do a video. You need to do a video. This message needs to get out. And it's about the financial systems. And I kept getting that. It's, even though that you see stuff on the news, about them having a tentative agreement and all this other stuff to raise the debt ceiling. It's inevitable. The system is crashing. It's crashing. It is. I know that for a fact. So, and I feel a lot of you already know that as well. So you'll see a lot of conflicting things. Maybe you'll read, and to kind of bring your energy down, keep projecting that it's already done. We need the crash to happen. It needs to. And it's going to be rough, but on the other side of that is something even better. So just keep your vibe high. A lot of things are coming around quickly. Karma is something that used to take a while for things to happen for others. If you did something good, where it's coming back. If you do something bad, it's going to come back, but it comes back maybe at a later time. Now karma, because the energy is getting so accelerated that things are happening at a quicker pace. So with the energy you put out, as we always talk about, is what you're going to receive. So if you do something good, you're going to get something even better in return. You do something shitty with bad intentions or ill intentions, guess what? You're going to get that same type of energy in return. So it just comes back to just keeping your vibe high. And I know that groups like this keeps people sane. Believe it or not, some of the things we talk about may seem a little crazy to others outside of these circles, but there's a reason why we're speaking of this, because this needs to be spoken. The energy needs to be transferred. And that's what it's telling me. It's this energy needs to transition to a different form. So that's why this message gets out. The more of us that are listening to these messages, the more of us that can get messages out in whatever your own ways are, the better. That's what we're trying to shoot for, is the more of the energy raises, the higher the frequency goes, the lower frequencies drop out. The lower frequencies drop out because they can't exist in that high of a frequency. So that's what this is all about, guys, keeping those vibes high. So thank you guys for all the warriors in the chat that are, moderating and keeping these trolls away. Good thing is we haven't had very many. We've had maybe one or two in some recent times, but not very much, though. It tells me like we're making great progress. The light is winning. And the fact that my channel has been getting way more subscribers again, instead of being taken away every time I post a video, I lose subscribers. Now I'm actually gaining them, which is amazing. So I've been kind of watching that specifically. I know many of you haven't been receiving your notifications. Some of you have been unsubscribed in some format without you doing that yourself, but then you resubscribe. So just know that when I'm not traveling, that I'm going to be trying to do as many shows as I can, like I did a couple last week. I'm going to try to do, and plus my video, I'm going to try to do something like that as well as I move forward. So just to kind of make sure that we're all on the same page, because things I feel are coming. I feel it energetically, like things are different than the previous years, even though we were ramping up for things and all that stuff. I feel the energetic change is palpable almost at this point. So I feel like we're at a turning point. The precipice is here. It's here. I feel pretty close. So keep those vibes high and let's get started and let's rock and roll. What are we at, 14 now? I'm going to do about another, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe 6 more questions and I'm going to call it for the night. All right. Edward. I like that, 11-11. I've been seeing 11-11 everywhere lately. So that's new beginnings for some of you who may know. And the number 1 is always a beginning. So, and then when you have them 2 or 3 or 4 in a row or whatever, it just multiplies it. So it just tells it that the energy is coming in strong. So, and if you look at a 1-1-1-1, it balances to 2-2 or 4. So it just tells me it's a balancing energy. So we want it to be this way. And I was also thinking about 45. 45, if you do numerology on that, that makes it a 9. So it tells me it's almost completion. That tells me that the Biden administration is the last one with the old system, because the 46 would make a 10 and a completion. So I feel like this is the turning point that will happen. So it makes total sense to me. Like this could be the way things are played out. So. All right. My mom passed almost 3 years ago. Is she trying to communicate with me to tell me she's okay and that everything I plan to do to help others will happen? Well, let's find out. Edward. Let's see, Edward's mother. Only his mother. Are you trying to communicate with him? No, is he okay with things he's doing? find out. 9 of Pentacles. So this is a motherly energy. So it tells me, yes, she's telling me she's communicating with you. She's also telling me the fruits of your labor are going to pay off. So she is telling me with what your second part of your question, you're going to have financial abundance. You're going to be independent, she's telling me. I have the Queen of Wands. Absolutely. I asked for your mom. Your mom is coming in, and my light is so bright right now. I feel your mom's energy. So it tells me your mom was an ass kicker. So that tells me like she has that fiery energy in her. So it tells me she wants you. You're very determined. She wants you to be determined. She says you have a vision. So she's telling me though that she wants you to also enjoy yourself in your life. You haven't done that enough. So she's telling me you're going to be more independent. You're going to be able to do these things. Okay. She said, I had to leave you. So you're but you're strong enough to stand on your own. She's saying, I have the 9 of Cups. So that tells me very much so that your wish comes true. Contentment. You're going to be financially content, but it also tells me your wish comes true. The things that you want to do to help others. I have the Ace of Pentacles. I have a financial abundance is coming to you. Very much so. She's telling me, though, that she does manifest. So these are things maybe that trigger you to think about her. I don't know if it's a smell or something that I feel like she sends you messages that you may, when you think of her, she's telling me when you think of her is when she's around you the most. She's coming. She comes to you because she says she manifests to you. And the Fool. So she's telling me this is the things you're going to do to have faith again. So she's telling me she transitioned also with the Fool card, and she's like, I'm doing great. She's telling me I'm on a new journey, and she's like telling me you're on a new journey with this situation. And the Magician card. So it tells me with the Magician card to take action. The actions that you're taking. Remain confident, she's saying. Be strong. She tells me that the things that you're doing are working out because you're creating them and you're doing it confidently, and you're going to do it confidently. So she's telling me that you're going to get clarity for some of these questions or some of the things you've been waiting for. She's telling me you're going to have clarity moving forward when it comes to this. And then the Strength card. She tells me you have great inner strength. So she's like, keep strong. Stand strong. Remain courageous. She's telling me. And she also tells me the Strength card that she loves you very much so unconditionally. She's always loving you, and she knows you love her. So she's telling me to continue for you to stay strong, stay confident that things are going to work out. Because I have the Justice card holding up my whole reading. This is a beautiful reading. So she's telling me that you're going to have that clarity again. Okay. She's like, everything you're doing is for a reason. Everything that's happened, she tells me, is for a reason. So she's telling me that you're going to have this clarity in the balance that you've been off a little bit. She's telling me that you're finding your balance, and that's going to return to you, and that things are going to work out beautifully for you. So I hope that resonated with you, Edward, and thank you for the super chat, my friend. Beautiful message from your mom. Thank you, Mom. I'm sure Edward's probably saying the same thing. All right, Cecilia. Hello, beautiful Jason. Well, thank you. I'd have never called myself beautiful, but my wife thinks I'm good looking, so I guess that's all that counts. Because you never think of yourself when you look at, because we always compare ourselves to others, but I've always been confident. I've always carried myself well, and I've never had problems with the female side of the energies as far as finding females, but it's the fact of how you look at yourself is different than how others may look at you. And it's always, like I always say, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, which is true. What I may think is beautiful, you may not think is beautiful. And what you may think is handsome, I may not think is handsome, or whatever the situation may be. So that's a good little, but thank you for that, beautiful Jason. I appreciate that. May I please have a message from Spirit, please? And thank you so much. I'm going to ask your higher self, Cecilia. King of Swords comes out. So it tells me, Cecilia, that you're a thinker. Okay. So Spirit, your higher self tells me you've been in your head a lot. Okay. So it tells me you've been thinking about a lot of things. But she also tells me, though, that you're gaining clarity to some of these things that keep coming back in your mind. So it tells me you're going to have that. The Ace of Wands also tells me with the Ace of Wands, though, that this is part of your growth, your spiritual growth. Okay, and it also tells me that you're gaining knowledge and you're going to get clarity to some of these questions. They're telling me that you keep thinking about things that keep popping up in your mind. It tells me you're going to have clarity moving forward with that Ace of Wands. This is part of your growth. Then I have the Death card. So the Death card tells me something's coming to an end. So that's going to come to an end. All that racing thoughts, all those things that you've been contemplating tells me that's going to come to an end. Tells me you're going. That's once you do that, you're going to have that clarity, and you're going to move into something different. So it tells me this is once again metamorphosis with the Death card, a change, an ending of something, and the beginning of something new. So it tells me this is something that you're moving forward. You're completing a cycle. And the Chariot. So I feel like there's travel coming in your future if you haven't planned. I feel like you're going to be traveling. But it also tells me with the Chariot card, things are going to start to pick up speed for you now. So the things that you've been waiting for, maybe you're going to have some clarity for that. But it tells me that things are going to start to pick up. And it also tells me that you've remained strong with that Chariot card. So it tells me things are taking a different approach for you, and you're going to change directions a little bit. Maybe how you used to think and how you're thinking moving forward. So it tells me that there's going to be some type of growth and changement there. And I have the Queen of Cups. So it tells me that there's some nurturing and some healing that needs to be done with you. And that's what I feel like you've been doing. So I feel like maybe some of the things you've been learning about from your past, and I feel like you're healing those things. Maybe some old wounds or some of these reoccurring thoughts. I feel maybe something from your past that keeps coming back, keeps coming up, and these doubts and these things like that. It tells me you're going to move past that. You're going to have victory with that. It tells me you're moving forward. So it tells me with this Queen of Cups, they want you to continue to work on that. And it tells me that you are very nurturing in general, it tells me. And they also want you to do that for yourself, okay? That's the biggest part of this thing is self-healing. The Moon card, so the intuition. So there tells me that there is some fears. I don't know if you don't sleep well at times. That's what they're telling me. Maybe there's some energy there. And I feel like this inner work and this nurturing and this healing that's required, I feel like will kind of help alleviate some of that sleepless nights that you may have. Also tells me, though, that your intuition is growing. So this is a huge thing for you. Once you get out of your head and the thinking, that your intuition is going to blossom, they're telling me. I have the Five of Pentacles. So it tells me there's some fears, okay? Lack of tells me maybe something with finances or something along that line, or maybe some health concerns maybe in the future if you continue to just overthink, because that drains your energy, it tells me. So that's what it's trying to tell me. Five of Wands. So there's some type of conflict that you keep having, or something that there is like an obstacle that you need to overcome. It's a temporary one, but this is part of your growth. And the Four of Cups, they want you to meditate, okay? It tells me that this is a way for you to kind of quiet your mind with the Four of Cups. It tells me you're going to receive downloads if you meditate and you quiet your mind. It doesn't have to be the full-blown, this just means slow your breathing down, close your eyes. You're going to receive downloads and energies and things from your spirit guides, you're telling me. The Emperor card. So it tells me, though, that you're going to overcome these challenges, and they want you to put this into practice with the Emperor card. Okay, so I feel this is God. God is telling me he wants you to connect more with God, with him. He says he's watching over you. You're protected. But he also tells me, though, that you need to kind of control this situation. You can control your thoughts and control your actions. This is what they're telling me. This is something that you need to do more of. And not let them overcome you. I feel at times it overcomes you, because the Magician card, holding up my whole reading, tells me that they want you to remain confident, okay? Tells me that they want you to take action with that Magician card. You have all the tools in your toolbox. You're manifesting the reality and the future that you want, that you are abundant, and that you keep manifesting it. So it's telling me to basically for you to get out of your head. Get out of your head, because I feel there's a lot of thoughts and racing things, possibly about financial future, something maybe about your health at times, or something along that line, or something from your past. I feel like keeps going down this path, but you are going to have clarity with it. It tells me this is something coming to an end, and for that you'll have some blessings. Okay, this is part of your spiritual growth, what they're telling me. So hope that resonated with you, Cecilian. Thank you for the super chat. All right, so if you're just tuning in, 20, I'll do 5 more. I have to watch. Is Lyme disease still an issue for me? Thank you very much. I'm going to ask my angel cards. Let's see what they have to say. disease still an issue for her? Yes or no? Okay, so I have the sun card. So it tells me you've had this since you were young. You've had Lyme disease since you were younger. It tells me maybe as a younger child, something along that line. But it tells me the chariot too. You got it when you're moving somewhere, maybe walking through the woods or something along that line. It tells me this happened when you were moving through some brush or something. You got a tick or something. You got bit by something. So it also tells me the chariot that this is moving. You've already completed this. Okay, it tells me this is in a new direction. Because I have the Justice card holding up in the center of my reading. So on the pole, so it tells me the Justice card, you've already come to justice with this. So balance in your body has already been brought back, it tells me. Because I have the 9 of Cups after that. So it tells me contentment, healing, you're healed. It tells me that this is something that your wish came true because of the things that you've done. The 9 of Fire, the 9 of Wands is the last card that I pulled. So it tells me you had a test of faith. You've overcome them. You're persistent. Tells me like you continue to work on it though. Okay, continue to get your health better. The Page of Swords or the Page of Air holding up my reading. So it tells me though that you're going to have more clarity to this. And I feel you've learned a lot about this disease and a lot about health, alternative health. Tells me you've had a lot of new ways of going through this. But you're also telling me that you're learning, you're gaining knowledge from this information, and I feel like you're using this same approach to other things that you're kind of going through health wise, or you were going through health wise. Tells me this is part of your evolution, part of your growth as well. But it tells me when it comes to Lyme disease that you've already beat it. You've already beat it. It looks like you did get it when you were young, though, is what I get. So it tells me though the Justice card, it's already done, and the 9 of Cups, which is very beautiful. So. It tells me that you're protected now. So do you have maybe antibodies or something inside? You're telling me you're protected. So something is going on energetically inside that tells me that you're protected from this now. So I hope that resonated with you, Lauren, and thank you for the super chat. Is Candace working from the light? Good question. I don't know who Candace is, but let's find out. Is Candace working from the light? Is Candace working from the light? Asking Muse, higher self, your guys' highest light. Candace. Is Candace working from the light? I got the 2 of Cups, so I feel maybe I don't know if it's a partner of yours or somebody maybe you work with or some type of an agreement. So it tells me there's something good there with the 2 of Cups. But I have the Page of Swords, so it tells me though that maybe with the Page of Cups, maybe some of the things she says sometimes is a little boisterous or a little not connected. I'm guessing as much from the. It's not saying she's bad, but it tells me maybe some of the things she says is a little more gossipy. Than from the light is what I'm kind of getting. But I have the Knight of Wands. So it tells me, though, that I feel she's 3 yes cards for me. It also tells me that she's very passionate about the things she says or the things that she does. She's one of those fiery energies, and I feel she's younger than you. So I don't know if she's younger by you by a lot or a few years, but I feel that's maybe some of the disconnect with this energy of who I'm speaking of. But tells me like they just let it fly. I don't know if who this person is. But I have the 4 of Swords. So it tells me, though, like I feel with the 4 of Swords, it's time for her, like things are going to kind of, she may retreat. She may retreat a little while. Or if she hasn't retreated, I don't know who this person is. She may retreat out of from what she does for a little bit. Or maybe she's retracting some of these things with the 4 of Swords that she may have said, or maybe there's some conflict, but it tells me she's learning about herself a little bit or learning about the situation. with the Four of Swords. I have the Hermit card, so it tells me she's got some divine knowledge for sure. And it tells me she is working with off-worlders or some type of old energy with the Hermit card. And it tells me like she's getting guidance from an energy. Energy is not just her own. So, but I feel they're on the light. And the Six of Pentacles. So there is an exchange of the light. So it tells me that she gives information. I don't know what she does, but or something she does. She gives something. And I feel like she receives like maybe messages with that Page of Swords. Maybe she communicates maybe with beings of like off-world beings or something like that, or something what I'm kind of getting. And I feel like I don't know if there's money involved as well, but with the Six of Pentacles, that's usually financial. So I don't know if there's some type of money involved with the situation, maybe why you're asking. Because I have the Five of Cups. So it tells me maybe there is some regrets or some loss or some type of fears. Also, when I feel with this, maybe either it's from you or from her because of the Five of Cups. But I have the Lover's card. So I feel it's a partnership. I don't know if you work with this person or if there's some type of partnership involved or what the situation is. But I feel like whoever this partner is, there's two of them. But I have the Lover's card. So it tells me, yeah, harmony. They have things are going to come into alignment. And I feel like with the Lover's card, that maybe that the energy she's working with is it helps her. It's helping. So I feel, yes, she's from the light. I don't get any dark cards from her. The only thing I have is the Five of Cups, which is maybe disappointment sometimes and things didn't happen or something along that line is what I'm kind of getting. And I feel like with the Fool card holding up my reading, it's telling me like this is a new journey for her, and she's taking people down a journey. So I don't know what this is that she's helping people with. But I feel like this person has good intentions to help. I don't feel like if it's something to do with the money or something like that, I feel like if that's what the question is about, but I feel like she does have good intentions, and that she does work with the light. So that's what I get personally for my cards, and I hope that resonated, Muse. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, we'll cap it since it's stuck at 20. So no more super chats. I'm just going to do 20 tonight. I'll call it an evening early. So no more super chats or super stickers, even though I always go and read them anyway. There's been whispers that our planet was destroyed many times, including one time in the year 2000 and another time in 2012. Is this planet we are living on a copy of another copy? Ooh, good one. Destroyed. Is this a copy of a copy of a copy that we're living on? If it is, can I see the world card, please? Well, I got the Six of Swords, so there has been a transition. So that tells me that first part of your answer could have been the case. Something happened, and then there was a transition that happened after that. It's leaving something behind, maybe the old of something. I have the Magician card, so that tells me that there could be something with magic, dark magic, or something to do with manifestations. So I feel like maybe there was some black magic involved with this situation. I have the King of Swords, so it tells me that there's some truth to that. There's truth to that statement about the whispers that you're seeing. And I feel like there is something to that. We've been regenerated or something is happening and we just don't know it here. I feel like with the King of Swords, yeah, absolutely, there's some truth to this. I have the 10 of Cups, so it was completion time. So when this was done, it tells me this is completion. The 10 of Cups. So completion tells me divine intervention, tells me it was to progress things. And it tells me that this is exactly what, and the Justice card. So yes, justice. So it tells me that this is what has happened. It's to keep things balanced. So it tells me maybe completing a cycle, the cause of an effect of this with the Justice card. And it tells me with the Knight of Pentacles, this is a routine. I got the Knight of Pentacles holding up my whole reading. This is a routine. This is something that's happened. It's happened many times. So it tells me, and then the Pentacle is something tangible. The Knight is holding it up. So it tells me that this is something that's been presented, something that's been a routine, something that it's for long-term success, very slow moving. So it tells me in intervals is when this happens, and it's a slow moving card. And it tells me it's something that when it needs to happen, it has happened. So I feel that there is some absolute truth to this living on another copy of another. And I feel like it's still called the same, but it looks like to me that things have been changed many times. Hope that resonated with you, DHP, and thank you for the super chat. You always bring me the craziest questions too, DHP. So, all right, Muse, let's see what we can do. Can I get a general read for June and July? Yes, you can. Yes, Muse's higher self. What would you like to tell me? Her June and July will be what to expect in June and July. Our calendars we don't know. Thank you. 6 of Cups. June is 6. So it tells me though that there's going to be I don't know if maybe something from your past, maybe some type of family get together or some family member. I feel maybe something from your past. I don't know if you have some issue, maybe something that's I keep getting something from your past. They keep telling me for June and July because I get 6 of Cups. That's something from your past. That's nostalgia. That's something. But it tells me maybe some memories because I have 8 of Swords next. So it tells me you're a prisoner of your own mind. So there's maybe something that you are stuck on. Maybe something from your past is what they're telling me. I keep getting victim or entrapment, self-defeat with the 8 of Swords. I have the 4 of Pentacles. So I don't know if you're worried about something from your past or financial security. I feel maybe there's something to do with that. And I also feel maybe that with the 4 of Pentacles, control, like a control thing for you is what I'm kind of getting for June and July. I mean, it tells me what I'm looking at. Maybe there's something that you need to go through and work through because I have the Temperance card next. So the Temperance card tells me that things are going to be okay in June and July for you. It tells me like this is something that balance is going to return to you. But also tells me though that there's to remain hopeful. A good spiritual omen is here for you. Okay, and I feel like there's a purpose. They keep telling me there's a purpose to I don't know what the message is specifically, but I feel that there's something from your past that is still kind of keeps coming up for you that's bothering you. Because I have the 6 of Wands. So literally, when you're asking about June and July, tells me you're going to make great progress. So it tells me though that there's going to be victory for self-sufficient. So I don't know if there's something you've been contemplating or maybe your financial security. So it tells me though that you're going to maybe see some progress when I feel like coming up in this couple months. Then I have the July. So I have the 6, literally the 6 of Wands, and then I have the Chariot, which is a 7 card. So the Chariot tells me I feel you're going to take a trip in July. It tells me things are progressing beautifully for you. But also tells me it's a turning point for you with the Chariot. So it tells me this turning point needs to happen. And it tells me that there's something from your past that keeps being presented to you and it bothers you. It keeps you held back or it keeps you kind of something. I don't know what this is, but it tells me there's some type of energy that you keep holding on to. You're holding on to this energy. It tells me needs to be let go of. So it tells me in June and July, I feel like there's going to be healing that's coming for you with the Temperance card. So it tells me to remain hopeful and calm. And then the 6 of Wands. So after this healing happens in June, I feel like you're going to travel, you're going to take a trip, and there's going to be some success and victory for you. And that Chariot card tells me that this is something that needs to happen. Okay, it tells me it's a turning point. Things are going to start to come towards you now. Even faster. So it tells me things are going to start to manifest for you quicker. And I have the King of Swords holding up my whole reading. So it tells me you're in your head a lot. So it tells me you're a thinker. You think way too much sometimes. And there's something bothering your heart that starts to go into your mind. So I don't know what the situation is, but I feel like there's going to be some type of reckoning some type of release at that point in June and July for you. So I don't know if this is something maybe to do with a male energy from your past or something along that line. There's something here that's bothering you. So, and I hope that you're able to release and work on that, is what they're telling me, that you're going to be successful with that in June and July. So hope that resonated with you, Muse. And I'd like to get some feedback if any of that is resonating with you. It just kind of was all over today with that one. So appreciate your super chat and hope that resonated. Thank you very much. Did Dr. Hugh Lin heal an entire psych ward of patients without even seeing them, using the power of his mind? Interesting. I'm going to use my angel cards for that one. Another interesting thing that I watched another video today. Supposedly this is a spiritual master or whatever you want to call them, even though that there's really no gurus. But this spiritual master was talking about the tarot cards as well. And he said that you'll have, out of 1 million people who read cards, you'll have maybe 1,000 of them who know what they're doing and can read them well. He says, because the energy that you put out in the tarot when you get it is, it can manifest. You manifest that because it's here. So it could be very accurate. But also he says that this is, if you have people who have problems, that it's good if you're a reader, because that's a great responsibility for when you can transfer that energy back to them to help them get over these issues and these concerns and things like that. So I resonated so much with that part, because that's how my guides make me read. When I read for people, it's not just a simple yes or no answer. I try to give you as much detail as I can. What I get, what I can try to make sense of at least. And then from there, I try to help you overcome. If it's an obstacle, I try to help you overcome that. Because remember, tarot is just one. This is just one scenario, one option in an infinite amount of options. So it tells me if things stay the same way and you don't do anything else down this line, this could happen. This could be manifested. But you have the option under free will, as God gave us, to change the outcome of these things. So that's why when I get something bad, or not bad, but I get something that people may look at and like, wow, that's bad, or that's not good, I try to spin it for them so we can overcome this, to empower yourself to remove that dark energy or that negative energy that's kind of surrounding you like a gloomy, cloudy day, and you just like a little rain cloud over you. That's to try to let it go away and open up the sunshine for you. So that's how I kind of resonated with that. I was kind of interesting when I'm saying that when I'm seeing all these videos lately that come into my feed for whatever reason. It's not like I go searching them out, and they're just about all these supposed gurus, about each has their own opinion. But like they say, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. So let's find out. Dr. Hugh Lin, did he heal an entire psych ward without seeing the actual patients, solely with his mind? Yes or no? Please and thank you. King of Air, or the King of Swords. So this is something to do with the mind. Thoughts and words are swords. So it tells me that he brought clarity for them with the King of Swords, or the King of Air. So it tells me he was able to communicate with them mentally, like telepathically. It tells me help bringing emotional balance. I keep getting emotional security, there's clarity. And the Hermit card. Yes. So I feel that he's connected very much so off-world, or very high energy frequencies. And I keep burping right now, so it tells me this needs to come out. So the Hermit card tells me he's a very old soul. He's been doing this for a while. He's very enlightened, and it tells me that he's very good at transferring energy. He goes inside. It tells me he goes inside. That's what I feel he does. He goes inside someone's soul and their mind, or his energy does, and it kind of helps clear things and create good energy. Because I have the 4 of Fire, or the 4 of Wands, so it tells me a group, a community. It could be, like you mentioned, a ward. It tells me, yes, there was celebration on the entire ward. Everyone felt great. So it tells me joy, happiness, celebration came back to this institution in this ward. I have the 8 of fire, so it tells me that's the 8 of wands. Tells me like he was communicating, like energy sending. He was sending a lot of it, and it was rapid. It was very, very, very rapid. So I feel like he was able to communicate with him. I keep getting telepathically. So he was communicating with their energy telepathically. So he was able to clear that very quickly. Actually, tells me he was able to clear these things very quickly with the communication that he sent. And I have balance card. So the balance card, so it tells me that that's all you need to know. There's balance involved, okay? So it tells me like there was some healing, strong healing energies with him. He worked with some archangels, I feel, is what he does. Or there's something. So it tells me like he had some cooperation. So I feel like he cooperated with or worked with, collaborated with energies around him as well. And I feel like it was something that he did very quickly. Actually, I feel like he was able to get through this stuff quickly because the 10 of water is holding up my reading, or the 10 of cups tells me there's divine intervention with this. So it tells me there's love. Tells me there's harmony. Tells me there's joy with this situation. So yes, it says Dr. Hugh Lin did heal an entire psych ward full of patients without seeing them, using just his mind. That's how powerful we are. So it tells me he's a very old soul who's been doing that for a while. So it tells me he's very good at that, kind of going inside and being able to take care of people like that from a distance. So we're going to have more of that stuff moving forward. Distance healing is a definite thing. So I hope that resonated with you, DHP, and thank you for the super chat. Odd question, I know, but do I need a new roof at my home, or am I being taken? Thanks so much. I know, but do I need a new roof on my home, or am I being taken? Oh, I know what you're saying. I got it. Okay. Does she need a new roof on her home? Yes or no? Or is she being taken? Thank you for sharing. I feel you do need a new roof because I have the 9 of fire. Okay, so it tells me like believe. It keeps telling me believe in the. I feel like maybe you're leaning towards that, and I feel like this is. But it says to believe in yourself and what you've kind of what's been going on, because I have the strength card next. So it tells me that the strength card that's a yes card for me as well. It tells me like have courage with this situation. Okay, tells me that this is another yes, that this is something that I feel is it needs to happen because I have the Knight of Air, the Knight of Swords. Okay, so it tells me though like there's things are going to start to pick up speed, or tells me here with the Knight of Swords. So it tells me maybe um, defending things. You're defending. So I don't know, defending your roof or your home from further wear and tear. I feel like there is something to that. Okay, there's creative. This is a creative solution. I don't know about the roof, to healing or taking care of this. It tells me something. There's a solution. This is a solution to your problem, is what I'm getting. Because I have the Sun card, so it tells me like this is a yes. Tells me happy outcome because of this situation with the Sun card. I have the 9 of Air, the 9 of Swords. It tells me even worried about this situation. There's been some fears or some hopelessness they're telling me at times. So it tells me they want you to release this. You're almost there. The 9 of Wands was the first one I pulled, the 9 of Fire. So it tells me you're almost there. Okay, this is the test for you, test of faith. They're telling me, but I feel like they're telling me that this is needed for you, and it will be a happy outcome for you because of this. And unity. So it tells me like that's the unity card is like the Hierophant. So it tells me it's to trust. Trust is what I just got. So whoever's providing you this information, the wisdom, they're actually telling you this, and there's truth to it. They're telling me that this will benefit you. And the Wheel of Fortune. So yes. So it tells me like it's something that needs to happen, needs to be accomplished. So it tells me though like this is going to benefit you in the future. It also tells me like this is something that is that will be accomplished. It's a good thing for you. It's a good omen. It's something that needs to happen. So it tells me to release these fears that you've been holding on to about the situation. And it tells me there's 4 major arcanas in this pull. So it tells me like this is a major message for you that you need to trust that what you're getting. And I feel like you in your heart, maybe you are kind of feeling like maybe we should, but then in your mind is telling you, I feel like it tells you the opposite at times. So it tells me that this is a good thing for you to help protect and defend your home is what I'm getting from further wear and tear or issues or whatever's going on. I feel like this is something that needs to be done and it will be successful by you doing it. So hope that resonated with you, Sharon, and thank you for the super chat. Man, my chat is jumping all over the place tonight. What can the universe tell us about the crypto coin Floki? Well, just so you know, crypto, why do you think they call it crypto? Because it's crypt, death. Everything we do is involving death. Everything we do. Today is Memorial Day. We are celebrating the dead. That's what this whole thing is about. Every holiday, as I mentioned before, every holiday is associated with death. We celebrate death with all these holidays. Why do you think they give us national holidays off for this? Do you think as 14th Amendment slaves that the government cares that we have a day off or not? No, they don't. They want us at home partaking in these ceremonies that we don't even know we're taking part in. We do it voluntarily. So the crypto thing, I try to stay out of crypto, but I do have digital assets because crypto is going to go away. That's why it's called crypto, so it can be in the crypt and die where it needs to go. It's not backed by anything. So, but I'm going to look. Never even heard of Floki. Floki, huh? Just like in the show Vikings, Floki, the boat builder. By the way, in Gematria, a funny thing is I put my name in, Jason, and Ragnar came up as one of the translations for the Gematria. I thought that was pretty cool. So let's find out. Let me tell you about crypto. Floki. Good or bad? Please have Well, it's definitely an investment. They're saying with the King of Wands, that's an entrepreneur card for me, okay? But it tells me it may overcome some challenges. So I don't know if it's had some ups and downs or there's some issues with it, okay? The Star card tells me, though, that there's a purpose to this. So it tells me with the Star card that maybe it's going to be rejuvenated. So maybe it dropped. Maybe it started off at a price and it's dropped. It tells me maybe it's going to be revived a little bit. The High Priestess card. So it tells me with the High Priestess card, like, that I feel that there's some type of institution that this coin is associated with. I'm not sure yet, but it tells me with the High Priestess card that this was specifically tied to an institution of some type. I don't know who's, but it tells me the Tower card tells me like it's coming. Tells me it's going to be disrupted. So it tells me that things are going to be revalued or reevaluated. So it tells me maybe that there's going to be some type of disaster with this coin. Moving forward, I feel like very soon, actually, that this is going to crash. All this is going to go down. Yes. So I feel like it's going to crash and then things are going to be revalued. And then I feel with the Fool card, it tells me that there's going to be something new coming in, okay? So it tells me when it comes to this crypto, before I even pulled cards, that's kind of what I was getting. So it tells me this is an entrepreneur thing. So it tells me this was put out for a big picture type of thing or part of a bigger picture is what I just got. And the Star card tells me, though, that there's something to this. I feel like it's regarding fortune for people for their fortune or money with that Star card. So it tells me that these are being illuminated for a reason. So it tells me that there's a purpose to this. The ones that are being pushed out, there's a reason for it, because of the institution that they're attached to is pushing them out specifically for a reason. And it tells me the Tower card that there's going to be some type of disruption. So it tells me that this is going to be something I feel is going to crash here in the future pretty soon. And then the Fool card tells me after that there's going to be a new journey, a new beginning of something. So something new will come in its place. The Magician card tells me there's darkness around it. So it tells me with the Magician card that this is maybe the Floki. Floki is kind of like Loki. So it tells me that there's some type of it's not as it appears. So it tells me maybe that this coin isn't as it appears with the Magician card. So it tells me maybe this is something that was has some dark roots around it. And I feel like maybe it's something that is tied to the dark is what I kind of get. So not financial advice, just kind of what I'm getting from the card. So it feels like there's going to be a big disruption in that Floki coin if you've purchased it. So in the immediate future, I feel it's coming pretty soon. So hope that resonated with you, Muse, and thank you for the super chat. According to Dr. Quantum, when I make a decision for choice, A, a version of me makes a decision for choice B, and so on and so on. Do we create new parallel universes with every choice taken or not taken? Parallel universe. Page of Pentacles, yes, manifestation. So yes, very much so. So tells me things develop. So it tells me your desires. You manifest from your desires, what they're telling me. Then I have the Two of Pentacles. So it tells me manifestation. It tells me like balancing a decision. So it tells me you are making decisions. And also tells me though this is things adapt. The universe adapts to your decisions, it's telling me. And the Hanged Man. So it tells me, yeah. So it tells me new perspective. So it tells me like ascension. It tells me things. You look at things differently. So it tells me like it does have an effect as part of it awakens the parallel universes. It tells me. So it says things like it changes things. It keep telling me it changes things. So it also releases that current timeline or that version of you in that timeline to another timeline. It tells me. And the Page of Wands. So it frees. So it tells me it frees up. So it tells me like it frees when you make a decision, it frees that energy up. It releases that energy, it tells me. So that's why those energies create parallel universes and realities, because this is something like energy is your energy that you put out is very strong. And it tells me that this is something like it just frees the energy up. That's what it keeps telling me, these decisions that you make. The Three of Swords also comes up though. So it tells me like there's sometimes that there could be some repercussions because of some of these alternate reality or some of the decisions that we make. So it tells me maybe the decisions we make may lead to being heartbroken, upset, things like that is what I'm getting. But the Ace of Pentacles tells me like even it's all for the higher good. It's meant to be. It's something that is creating. It's manifesting. As I get the Ace of Pentacles, so it tells me it's something that is manifesting itself, something that it keeps presenting. So you open realities by your energy. I have the Justice card, so it tells me it needs to happen to keep balance with the Justice card holding up my reading. So it tells me like when there's issues that there may lead to some heartbreak or some heartaches, but it's for the better good of things, and it's meant to bring clarity and balance to the universe and to yourself. That's how important you are, each one of us, to the universe and keeping things in balance and harmony. So hope that resonated with the DHP, and thank you for the super chat. What message does Spirit have for me tonight? Much love and thankfulness, Jason. No worries. Wow, look at that. I got 108 people on my show tonight. Wow, that's awesome. We're finally in triple digits again. I remember we were in triple digits, no problem back in the day. Now everyone's just kind of, it's crazy. Crazy. I know this bag isn't for everybody when it comes to personal questions, but there is always little tidbits for everybody in these readings. So what's the Spirit have for me tonight? What message do you have for Tammy? I have the Two of Cups. So there's a connection. You have a connection with somebody, and it tells me that connection is very, very good with you. It tells me that there's harmony involved with this Two of Cups. I have the Hermit card. So it tells me that there's maybe some soul searching that you've been doing lately. It also tells me, though, that this is you're seeking wisdom. Okay, so I feel like not just you, but the other person that's around you. I feel like they're seeking wisdom, and this you balance each other with the Two of Cups, and I feel like there's your consciousness is growing. That's what they're telling me. You guys are helping each other. Whoever this other person is, or the other individual that's with you, or that you have a connection with, tells me like there's some great inner guidance that's going on. So it's balancing. You get a lot of divine knowledge from the Hermit card. But I have the Five of Swords, so maybe there's some disagreements for some of the things that you may be doing or saying at times. So maybe there's some temporary disagreements, is what I'm getting. Maybe there's some conflicting information in your mind. Maybe some of the things that you don't agree on at times. But I feel like there is some good harmony involved. I have the Nine of Swords, so it tells me like defending your beliefs. So I don't know if the situation about if you're having maybe a little conflicts of maybe defending what you believe in, maybe that's something they're telling me though with somebody that you're partnered with or someone that you're having you're connected with. They're telling me, and I feel like there's something like defending. I keep getting a defense, and I feel like you do speak your mind when you want to get your point across. I have the Four of Swords. So it tells me a lot of thoughts and words going on with this. So it tells me the Four of Swords, maybe there's a lot of contemplation. There's some inner work I feel like maybe you've been doing. And I feel like that's what this biggest thing is for you, is to do some inner work as you've been doing. Take some quiet time, kind of, let work on yourself. And the Hermit card also is an internal card. So it tells me I feel between the Four of Swords and the Hermit card, this is time for you to kind of soul search, contemplate things, go inside. You have the answers inside of you, they're telling me. I have the Knight of Cups. So it also tells me like they want you to follow your heart. So it tells me though that you're a messenger, okay? Maybe you're a knight in shining armor for someone. So maybe you're a supporting balance or supportive energy that I'm getting, that you help this other. I feel like there's another partner involved with the situation. There's a partnership here. There's a collaboration. There's some type of energy that I feel like is very, very. They look to you as like a knight in shining armor. I keep getting someone who kind of keeps coming, that's there to help, and you always have their back, and they feel supported by you. And I have the King of Cups, so I feel like it's a male. There's a male with this situation. So. And maybe an older male at this point, I feel possibly with a king. That's usually an older gentleman. So maybe this energy that I'm getting is it's emotional. You balance. I keep getting balance. So I feel like this other male energy balances you as well, when you're kind of having to defend your beliefs, and you're kind of maybe having some disagreements possibly with others around you or whatever the situation is. I feel like that's a lean on me type of man or male that's in your life or around you. Because I have the King of Wands holding up my reading. So it tells me that you're seeing things from a different perspective. Okay. And I also feel though with I don't know if you have a father that passed. I keep getting maybe a father that's coming in right now and telling me with the father like that they're watching over you. Okay, this is a father energy, so I don't know if it's father or grandfather, but I feel with this energy though with the King of Wands that this message is to tell you that you're overcoming these things. Stand strong. You have that fiery personality for a reason. Speak and stand in your strength. Speak your truth. So that's what I'm kind of getting. It's a father figure telling me though that you're going to overcome these things. So this strife and these disappointments and these temporary things, maybe these conflicts of things that are said, tells me that this you're going to overcome them. So I feel this male that's coming in right now is telling me like to acknowledge the relationship with the other energy that's around you. So I feel like that's something they want to tell you, that they always come in, they give you energy and they do communicate with you. That's what they're telling me. So I don't know if this is a parent, a father figure, or a grandfather, something like that I feel is talking, that's coming through me. So he's telling me that he wants you. He talks to you. He says when your mind is quiet. So I don't know if maybe when you sleep or maybe if you meditate, if you do that, they're telling me maybe is when you get more of your downloads or more of the information. Maybe memories trigger, maybe thoughts that trigger from something from your past. That's the way that they're communicating to you. That's a way of validating for you. So hopefully that resonated with you, Tammy, and thank you for the super chat. NH Sagittarius. Nice. I'm guessing that's New Hampshire Sagittarius. Well, I'm a double Sagittarius. So I'm a Sagittarius sun sign and Sagittarius rising sign. So I'm a double fire sign. And I'm a Capricorn moon sign. So I'm very grounded and earth based. So I have to be grounded and earth based with all this fiery passion I have inside of me. All right, Sagittarius, or NH, so I'm guessing it's New Hampshire Sagittarius. Maybe I'm wrong. Wondering if you could pull cards on why I heard harps last year when I was awake. Was this a message from my guides? I'm going to pull my angel cards on this one because I feel they want to talk. That was Archangel Gabriel. So he's telling me it was a communication for you. It is a communication directly to you. So he was telling me that it was just a way for you to see things from a different perspective. Maybe there was something that I keep getting maybe energy was stagnated or something that was kind of like you were stuck on something at the time. I feel like it was a way of communicating to you because you started looking at things a little differently from there, okay? And the Empress card. So yes, it's telling me that this was telling me things are going to be okay for you with the Empress card, okay? It was a nurturing moment for you. It was a healing energy for you. So it tells me though that that they were very successful. It also tells me that you're going to be very, very you're going to be abundant. You're going to be your needs are going to be met. They're telling me, and it was their way of communicating with you. And the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Earth. So it tells me yes, it was a manifestation. So you did hear what you thought you heard. And it was a way of them communicating to you, telling me that things are going to be okay. Things are going to be beautiful. There's a new beginning that's coming with the Ace of Pentacles for you. Tells me abundance is coming for you, okay? And the Knight of Fire. So I feel It was a way of communicating with the Knight of Wands. So it tells me like it was to inspire you. They're telling me the message that you received, it was to inspire you. And it was the action that was taken by the angel. I feel it was Archangel Gabriel that was talking to you. And the Six of Swords, or the Six of Air. So tells me like I feel like there was stagnant energy or something you were waiting on at the time, or answers you were seeking. I feel like because that helped you transition past that. Because I have the Six of Swords as the result. So that's communication, thoughts and words. So it tells me like it was a message to you to tell you that the old is done. So I don't know if you were asking about this. I feel maybe you were asking something similar to this. Is the light winning? Or what's going on with the situation? I feel like that was what they were communicating to you. Like this was a transition point, not only for the world, but for yourself, telling you you're moving out of troubled waters. So it tells me that they traveled to you, that sound traveled to you, and the energy traveled to you was for a reason. So it tells you to stop looking behind you and look forward for in front of you, because that's the future that you're manifesting with that Ace of Pentacles. And I have the Emperor card, God. God told them. The Emperor card for me is my God card, and that's who I usually channel through. So God tells me with that, he sent Gabriel, his angel of communication, to you to send you a message. You did hear what you heard, and it was that God is your father. He says, I was the fatherly thing to communicate with you, to let you know things are going to be okay. So I feel you're asking for signs. I keep feeling that you're asking for those signs. Are you asking for signs? You had questions about, is the light winning, or doubts or something like that. There was some type of doubt or something that was going on in your mind, and you were asking, and God answered you through Archangel Gabriel, is what I'm getting. So he tells me things are going to be okay. Things are transitioning. You're moving on. We're all moving along. This is part of the time. The time is moving forward as it should, just as God intended it to. So hopefully that resonated with you, NH Sagittarius, and thank you for the super chat. I keep seeing questions keep popping up. Yes, please hit the like button. Can you please give me a general reading? Tiffany. Yeah. Tiffany stalking elk. Are you a Native American? I'm Native American as well. Chippewa. I actually have a card and tribe. They have my lineage tracked. So it's pretty crazy. I tracked my lineage all the way back to like 1400s. It's pretty crazy. So I was here before this place even became, or my ancestors were here before it even became what it's known today as. So crazy. And the funny thing is, weird. This is how the universe works. I moved to this when my mom died in May of 2020. That she mentioned something about, it's you now. It's on you to, help your brothers. So I moved closer to, I didn't want to, but I moved closer to where I moved back to where my brothers live in Illinois. And I moved to a place, a town south of Chicago, about an hour 20, hour 30 south of Chicago. And come to find out, the plot of land that I bought, that I'm in the process of land patenting, was owned. My tribe, the Chippewa tribe, literally were right here on the river. I'm like a couple blocks from straight to the river from here. My tribe was here, and they fished the river. They traded. It was pretty cool. I didn't know that, and the universe was like, wow. Just the fact that I found that out, that it was pretty amazing. Like I had no idea, because my tribe is from it's like Michigan, in the Upper Peninsula, place called Sault Ste. Marie in Michigan. That's where my tribe is based, and that's on the Canada border almost, up in the Upper Peninsula. So it's crazy. All right. I'm going to jump off my soapbox now. I have the release card. So that's the first thing. So there's some type of spiritual transformation happening for you. Okay. So it also tells me with the release card, like it's time for you to move on. Okay. So it tells me there's a change of a situation, ending of something, a beginning of something. I have the Seven of Pentacles or the Seven of Earth. So it tells me like it's time for a change. Okay. As I mentioned. So it tells me maybe the ending of something difficult. So it tells me this is going to work out into your benefit. It's not going to be a fast moving card, but it tells me long-term success with that Seven of Pentacles. So it tells me that you're working on things. You've been working on yourself. You're mastering things. So it tells me like this has been very educational. You're going through an education. They're telling me right now, and it tells me that this is unnecessary worry from you. I don't know if you're having your worries about something because I have the Unity card, which for me is maybe your thoughts have changed. Maybe like the way that you were brought up. Maybe the traditions that you're used to. Maybe these are things that you're having conflicts with. I feel like maybe that's kind of what this is about. Maybe you're having some of these things like maybe you found out that things that you were taught and you believed weren't exactly what you thought they were, or what they are now is what you found out. Because the Wheel of Fortune tells me though that this is a turning point for you. So it tells me this is a cycle that's completing, and it tells me this is part of what you need to go through. So it tells me that there's something. You're growing a spiritual transformation. They're telling me so you're learning a lot about yourself. As they're telling me you're mastering things. So it tells me with that Seven of Pentacles, the seeds have been well planted. You're going to have long-term success because of this. Okay. So it tells me though that to look at things from the bigger perspective. Maybe that's what you're doing. You're looking at things from a different perspective. Because I have the Wheel of Fortune. So it tells me a positive change is coming because of this. A cycle is completing. It tells me a turning point, a good turning point for you. And I have the Eight of Swords or the Eight of Air. So it tells me that's a prisoner of your own mind at times. So I feel like there's some self-entrapment. It tells me with you are a prisoner of your own mind. It's the first thing that always pops up when I see that card. You trap yourself. So there's a lot of defeating thoughts at times, or negative thoughts, or things that hold you back. You hold your energy back. They're telling me this is what the spiritual transformation is for you, because you hold yourself back at times. And I have the Four of Air, or the Four of Swords. So this is time for you. They want you to take some time, maybe some time to take a rest, a vacation, some type of renewal is going on for you. Okay, so it tells me that retreat. So it tells me kind of go back inside as you're doing spiritual enlightenment, work on these things as you've been doing. And it tells me to get out of your head because you are holding yourself back, and sometimes your thoughts, I feel like, can almost defeat you at times. It can bring you great anxieties for some reason. I feel a lot of conflicting information that goes around in your mind. The Star card. So this is a good spiritual omen for you. This is part of your awakening. It tells me they want you to remain calm, because I feel like sometimes you ramp yourself up. So tell me this is a time for you to kind of your triggers to work on them. It tells me this is something you need to release, and you're working on it. But it also tells me that you're on the right path. It tells me very good. Make long-term plans with the Star card. Okay, you're being illuminated right now. God is shining the spotlight on you. Okay, this is what He's doing to a lot of us. He's telling me that this is part of your growth and awakening. This is part of your spiritual evolution. And then the King of Fire. So it tells me to focus. I want you to focus. Focus on yourself. Focus on these things that you've been defeating in your mind at times. So focus on kind of getting out of your head. Focus on kind of continuing to stay strong. Okay, with that King of Fire. Tells me like you're going to overcome things. Okay, tells me like this is something like remain confident, remain strong, keep pushing forward with this situation. Okay, it tells me you're a leader, so stand up, be a leader, stand up and keep moving forward and get out of your mind, get out of your head, because the Six of Swords or the Six of Air is holding up my whole reading. So it tells me this is a transition point for you, but there's some emotional baggage from your past I keep getting that needs to be let go of. And we can say all day that we do this in our mind, but our heart and our soul has to let it go. So it tells me this is a transition point for you, and there may be a trip in your future as well. That's what maybe this renewal, this retreat that you have to do. Maybe there's a trip involved with this, but it tells me that there's some type of transition for you. This is a moving out of troubled waters moment for you. This is something like seeing things from a different perspective. Leaving the old behind is what they're telling me. And I feel like there's some emotional things there that need to kind of just be severed and let go of and forgiven. So I hope that resonated with you, Tiffany, and thank you for the super chat. A general reading, focusing in my finances too, please. Much love and light to you, soldier. Well, I'll do a general reading, and we'll see what Spirit has for me. I'll just focus if you want your finances. Okay, let's find out. So the Nine of Cups tells me contentment, okay? So it tells me whatever this is luxury, I feel like maybe something you've done with your finances, maybe things you've invested in, tells me some stability is coming for you, and also tells me you're going to be content. The Magician card, so you're manifesting things. So it tells me there's something that you've taken. So I don't know if there's things that you've invested in. I keep getting that. You've taken actions. There's things that you've done. So it tells me with the Magician card that you're going to have clarity moving forward with this situation in your finances. And then I have the Star card. So it tells me remain hopeful, stay calm. It tells me a good spiritual omen is coming for you. So things are good. Rejuvenation. So it tells me that you're going to be rejuvenated. This tells me that there's going to be beautiful, beautiful things coming your way. Because I have the Two of Wands. So it tells me not just for you, but for the world, things are going to change. So it tells me that to make plans. They want you to make plans. Okay, so it tells me things are progressing with that Two of Wands. And this is something that's going to affect the whole world, not just yourself as well. It also tells me you may be taking some travel plans in your future. I feel like are making some plans because I have the Hanged Man. So it tells me there's something's going to be released. So I don't know if this is something that you're waiting on, maybe the RV or waiting on something to be released. It tells me I feel like this will be released with the Hanged Man. So there's going to be some type of awakening with this Hanged Man, some type of growth, some type of change, and something's going to be released is what I just got with the Hanged Man. And I have the Seven of Pentacles, so it tells me long-term financial success. Pentacles are tangible things for me. So it tells me the seeds have been well planted for you, so the investments you've made in your past are going to be successful for you moving forward. So it tells me long-term success. So it also tells me the Seven of Pentacles, that maybe there's some things that may happen. It may take a little bit of time for you to get to your endpoint where you want to go. Because of the Hanged Man and the Seven of Pentacles aren't really fast-moving cards, but it tells me your future of your finances is going to be beautiful. So it tells me that you're going to have security in your future, and that the things that you've done in your past are going to come to fruition for you. I have the Five of Pentacles, so it tells me there's a lack of mindset of your finances. It was just telling me. It tells me that there's a lack of mindset for lack of not having enough. Lack of did I do enough, whatever situation, financial loss, fear of financial loss is what I'm getting with the Five of Pentacles. But the Sun card tells me all will be well. Release all that fear, release the doubts, because it's affecting your health. So it tells me there's going to be joy, contentment with the Sun card. That's a beautiful card to get. Happiness, fulfillment. It's what's meant to be. You're going to have the Six of Wands, so it tells me you can be very successful in the things that you're going to do. So things are going to be brought out into the public. So whatever you've done, that's involving finances is going to be brought into the public eye. And as I mentioned, things are going to be looked at differently with the situation in whole, because it's not going to just affect you. It's going to affect the world with the financial. I feel that that's coming. It's coming. So hope that resonated with you, Minerva, and thank you for the super chat. Yeah, man. Oh, Ocean Odell's birthday? I didn't know that. Well, happy birthday. If I don't get a chance to tell you there, Ocean, it's coming up. I see just J Rocco put a share feature in there. That's cool, man. I'm all about the sharing, man. Share everything. Month of June. Let's make sure the cues. You tell me how the month of June will go for her. June is on the calendar. I also get the Eight of Pentacles for you. So it tells me something is. So it tells me, like, with the Pentacles, so there's something that's been worked on. Okay, and there's something I feel like maybe you've been working on yourself. Maybe you've been learning a lot. Maybe you've been trying to find new sources of information. I feel with the Eight of Pentacles. I have the Three of Wands. So it tells me that you're making progress. This is part of your expansion. So it tells me in June, though, that you may be making plans to travel as well. Because I feel like this needs to happen. I also feel in June that maybe your finances will expand in June. I have the Eight of Cups. So you're going to be, I feel you're going to be departing of something or leaving something behind with the Eight of Cups. So it tells me that maybe there's some type of transition that happens in June for you. This is moving along is when something's been worked on. And it could be the financial. I keep getting maybe this is something to do, like they're maybe departing the old in the financial system. Yes, that's what I keep getting. I know this is a reading for you specifically, but I feel this is going to have a lot to do with a lot of people because I have I've been getting these downloads even in my sleep about the finances and everything going on before I even did my pull. If you haven't had a chance, go to the financial crash imminent tarot pull that I pulled. And it's pretty crazy. So the Six of Pentacles is the next card I have. Tells me some type of wealth exchange, some type of exchange. Okay. So maybe tells me there's going to be some money. Maybe the imbalance of the money is going to start to balance itself out. I feel like, and I also get 6 is June. So it tells me something tangible. I feel like with it comes to the finances. So it tells me that there's going to be some type of departing of the old. And there's going to be something that's going to be maybe the financial is finance. I keep getting, maybe I'm pulling from the whole collective right now because the Eight of Pentacles tells me this is something that's been worked on. It takes a lot of great skill. I also have with the Three of Wands, it's going to expand not just for you, but for a lot of people. And it's commerce for me, finances, expansion. So maybe revaluations. And I have the Eight of Cups next. So that tells me departing of something, leaving something behind. People are going to be disappointed about the financial system because I have the Six of Pentacles. So it tells me there's going to be something to do with money exchanges, giving and receiving. But it also tells me that there's going to be balance coming from this exchange of things. And it tells me wealth. So I don't know if you have something, there's going to be some type of wealth maybe moving forward. Not only just for you, but for many, I feel with this, because the Ace of Wands, there's an opportunity coming from this. So it tells me there's going to be something great coming from this opportunity. And I feel like there's going to be projects, inspirational projects, and things are going to be, people are going to be inspired. You're going to be inspired to do things. So I don't know if there's something that you've done in your past. Maybe you've invested as well. Maybe there's something that you've done when it comes to the finances, because I have the High Priestess card holding up my reading. So it tells me to trust. You're being guided divinely, okay? It tells me you have a lot of knowledge inside of you and you trust what you're getting and what you're doing. So it also tells me, though, that maybe your intuition is going to grow in June. Things are going to kind of awaken for you a little bit more for the June. So I keep getting a lot of financial stuff for you in this, even though you're asking for a general reading. So I feel like there's going to be some major financial news and financial things that are going on for you and for a lot of people in the world. So hope that resonated with you, and thank you for the super chat. Sending love and gratitude. US. Any message from Spirit tonight for me? Thanks. Soul Tribe Love. Soul Tribe Love. I have the Strength card. So it tells me, though, to remain focused, okay? Also, it tells me have compassion. Compassion, not just for yourself, but compassion for others, what they're telling me. So understanding or understanding that maybe others don't maybe resonate with what maybe we speak or what we feel, but it says to have compassion for them, okay? So it also tells me, though, that you have great influence around for others. So whatever you do, you have influence of others. So it tells me, though, to that you're very passionate, but also tells me with the Strength card to be open to receiving and giving love unconditionally. I have the Seven of Swords, so it tells me maybe that be strategic in what you're doing. They're telling me because usually the Seven of Swords tells me maybe there's some type of betrayal, some backstabbing, maybe some deception going on. But I feel what the situation is, what they're telling me maybe for the message is maybe the deceptions that you're finding out. That we're all finding out as well is they're telling me the deception that we're finding out and the betrayal, that to remain strong and courageous and keep that heart open for love. They're telling me even with the things that you're going to find, because I have the Five of Swords, so it tells me that there's some conflicts going on. It tells me like mental conflicts, things that we've maybe been taught, or I feel maybe you've been taught, or maybe you've learned, or maybe there's things that maybe you disagree with, things that others say, or what you say compared to what they think. So I feel like there's been some conflicts on and off, and I feel like you maybe even inside your own mind at the time. And there's theft. I keep getting something to do with theft. But I have the Three of Wands next, so it tells me that this is okay. So it tells me that there's progress being made, okay? So it tells me this is something that's been planned and prepared. And I keep getting that there's this is part of your expansion as well. So it tells me that you're learning things. You're learning about the deceptions. You're learning about these things, and they want you to remain strong and courageous with this. Because I have the Two of Wands next. So it tells me like things are affecting the world. It tells me your energy affects the world. And each one of our energies affects the world, they're telling me. But this is something, once again, it was planned. This all the stuff that we're seeing has been planned for the dark, and it's also been planned for the defeat of the dark by the light. So this is all stuff that needs to happen, okay? So I see travel. You're going to start making plans to travel. I keep getting that a lot. People are going to be traveling soon, and I feel like, or as this getting to be summertime and warmer weather and things. So I feel like there's some plans that you're going to be making, and I feel like this is part of your growth that you need to travel. You need to kind of get away from your everyday area and just kind of get away. That's what a lot of, I think, Spirit is telling us is get out of our own matrix, and that's what I feel like this is the biggest message here. Because I have the Hanged Man. So it's telling me they want you to surrender. Just surrender to what you feel. Don't keep holding on to things. Surrender that to God and to the light, and they'll take care of it. So it tells me, though, like there's a change coming. Okay. So it tells me things are going to be released. So it tells me maybe some things that have been held on to in the past, that we were betrayed and everything was deceptive. Things are going to be released, and we're going to have an awakening because of this, is what I feel. And the Seven of Pentacles. So it tells me this is for long-term success. This is something that's been worked on for a while. So this tells me also for you that you're working. They want you to continue to work on yourself. You've planted the seeds very well. You're going to be very well successful, like long-term, okay? And you're viewing things differently now than you did before. So that's the biggest message we're saying for you, is that you're learning. You're growing. This is part of your expansion, okay? So it tells me that keep looking at things from a different perspective than you used to before. And the Knight of Pentacles tells me financial independence, okay? It tells me the fruits of your labor, things that you're doing. So it tells me that you're also going to be, tells me independent, just stand strong and confident, and things they're coming to you. You're manifesting them, okay? So it tells me sovereignty. You're going to be sovereign. So it tells me you're going to be the queen that God brought you here to be. So I believe I feel you're female. Yes, you're female. So hope you're a female. That's what I keep getting. So I called you a queen. If not, you're a king. So I keep getting queen. So hopefully it's hard with some of these names, but hope that resonated with you, and thank you for the super chat. Is the best diet carnivore? It seems to be the only diet besides keto that reverses metabolic diseases and reduces inflammation. Will carnivore help me be healthy by the end of the year? Carnivore diet. So the first card I have is the death card. That's usually a no card for me, but that also means maybe this is a transition point for you. So it tells me maybe this is how you used to do things, or maybe how you ate. Maybe you're changing that, because the death card tells me something new is coming. This is a transformation is coming. Okay, because I have the Queen of Swords, so it tells me though like clarity. There's going to be clarity for this when it comes to this. Maybe information that it's been communicated to you through reading or speaking or listening to videos. It tells me like there's clarity to this. There's some truth to this stuff that you're going to experience. Wow, I keep burping. So the 10 of Swords tells me though, like, comes to an end. So there's going to be an ending of something. Okay. So it tells me it's going to take some time for you. So you're going to have to adjust. So you're going to be like, you're going to have to cut out a lot of things, a painful ending part of it. For me. So it tells me it's the 10 of Swords. So it tells me cutting out things that you used to enjoy and eating. It's going to be some time for you to kind of adjust to that. But the Queen of Cups comes up next. So it tells me a healing is coming for you. Okay. So it tells me you're taking time to this, and it tells me that the time you're taking is very nurturing for your body, and you're taking these actions to make this happen. Okay. So there's going to be some type of comfort eventually, but things are going to kind of be a little bumpy for you to transition away from your old eating habits. Because it tells me the King of Swords or the King of Wands is the final card. So it tells me overcoming obstacles. Okay. It tells me these challenges that you're going to face some challenges, but you're going to overcome them. It tells me that they want you to remain strong. You may feel weak. You may want to go back to eating some things and slipping up. This is what they're telling me. You're going to have to retrain how you think, because the 10 of Pentacles is holding up my whole reading. So it tells me success, completion. It tells me this is something that you will complete, and it will have good benefits for you, for your long-term success is what they're telling me. So this is a turning point for you to end the old with how you do things. This is a transformation portion for you at this point. So it looks like it'll be very beneficial for you by the end of the year. Hope that resonated with you, and thank you for the super chat. Tiffany stalking elk. Will I have any non-human encounters at Thorpe Lake this year? Interesting. Tiffany stalking elk. Are you going to one of those UFO circles? Like to call in energies? I'm anxious to see. I don't know if that's what I keep seeing for you. High Priestess card comes up for me. It tells me yes. So it tells me when it comes to the High Priestess that maybe there's some type of you're sensitive to things. So it tells me you're going to be more sensitive at this. I don't know, whatever you're going to do. So it tells me that there may be something that's happening. And the Eight of Pentacles. So it tells me you've been working. So this is something you've been working on for some time. So I don't know if this is something like you've been learning about, you've been working on, educating yourself about. So it tells me maybe you've been trying to do this for some time. And so it tells me because this tells me you're developing skills. You're developing skills towards this. And I have the Moon card. So it tells me that you're going to have an illusion of something or some type of manifestation, I feel, that will come possibly under the moonlight. So I feel like it'll be at night when you do have something. And it tells me like this is something you've been working on, or maybe I don't know if you've had visions at night when you sleep, but it tells me though this is going to be under the moon, I feel, when you're going to have these type of manifestations. And the Six of Swords, you're going to see travelers. They're going to travel to you. There's going to be a transition. Something that's going to happen is going to be traveling involved with the Six of Swords. So, and the Knight of Pentacles. So it tells me your hard work will pay off. So the things you've been working on. Tells me this is a routine of yours. So this is something I feel you've been doing or you're going to do more of moving forward. If you haven't done it more than once, I feel like this is something that you will be a routine of yours. It's going to be presented to you, manifestation. And the Knight of Swords. So, yep, I feel like this is something like Knight of Swords. They're going to pick up speed for you. Okay. So it tells me like your energies, and I feel like your energy, you're going to be able to communicate. They're going to communicate whatever this is that you're going to get. You're going to get communication from them. Because I have the Three of Pentacles. There's going to be a couple of you around. So I don't know if you're going with just more than yourself. There's going to be a few of you around. I feel like there's going to be at least three energies around, either that visit you, or there are going to be three energies that are going to be with you that when you experience some of these things. So I don't know if you're going with a group, because I feel like it's something you're collaborating with. So I don't know if you're trying to manifest something. I keep getting a group or some type of energy. That's what I got before I even pulled cards for you. I'm anxious to see. Put that in the chat for me, Tiffany, if that's kind of what because I'm getting blurry right now. So tell me if that's what I feel like I keep seeing you looking up at the sky with people around you. So hope that resonated with you, Tiffany, and thank you for the super chat. I hope that's Deanne or Diane. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, Deanne Silva. Let me see if there's a question for you I didn't miss. I don't want to miss any questions. Let's see. Jason, in the near future, will I meet someone I have a spiritual connection and attraction to? Would love to meet that special someone. Thank you, love and light. Let's find out. It'd be awesome if the Lover's card came out. The Hangman comes out first. So it tells me though that there's an awakening that needs to happen with you, okay? That's been going on. So it tells me there's something you need to release. So something from your past are telling me that there needs to release this stuff, okay? The Two of Wands tells me though that you're going to make progress. You're making plans. So it tells me you're progressing, okay? Start making plans like that person is coming into your life, or that man is coming into your life. So it tells me though that this is it. You're going to make some decisions. You have some decisions to make. They told me you have to let some things go from your past. So you have to surrender this away. They're telling me you have to release this away from things. It tells me maybe something from your past. I keep getting, got to let it go. You're going to discover some things. Things are going to start to come to you, okay, after this is what I feel. I have the Queen of Swords, so it tells me, yes, your energetic boundary needs to be, you need to work on that. So it tells me the energy. So there's going to be some clarity for you mentally. It tells me also that there's the energy, what I mentioned, what we put out is what we receive. And what I keep getting is you need to release some of this stuff that you've been holding on to. Your energetic boundary needs to be adjusted. That means there's some healing that needs to go on. So there's some release and your energetic boundary will attract that energy is what I get. Because I have the 7 of Pentacles next. So it tells me long-term success. So it tells me I don't feel like right away that you're going to meet someone, but it tells me maybe you will meet someone, but it may not be right away, like right away, because it tells me with the 7 of Pentacles, it could be up to years when it comes to Pentacles. But it tells me, though, you're investing in yourself. So maybe I feel within the next 7 years, and even though it may not, I mean, that could be any time. I said with tarot doesn't look at years and time like we do, but I feel it could be within the next 7 years, you will have a knight in shining armor coming to you. You're going to be proposed to, Knight of Cups. So it tells me that this person is going to be very charming. They're going to be very connected to you. It's going to be a gift to you once you release this stuff from your old. Tells me that's why your energy isn't ready for that energy yet. You're going to attract the energy that you put out. So it tells me that there's something you have to let go of from your past. You have to increase your energy vibration, and you're going to attract that individual to you. Okay? And the Wheel of Fortune, it's inevitable. It's your destiny. You will have someone. It's a turning point will happen, okay? And it's going to be for the better for you. So it tells me that this is something that you've had some ups and downs, they're telling me, in your past. But this is something you're gonna overcome. It's inevitable for you, okay? A change is coming. And the 10 of Swords. So yeah, you have to complete something. Your betrayals, your backstabbing, your things that have not turned out so good for you in the past, you have to let those go. That's what they're telling me. Okay, so it tells me you have to defeat that. You have to move past that, and you'll start to attract that energy to you. Because the 10 of Wands is telling me you're a hard worker. You're burdened by something. There's something you've been holding on to. That's the 10 of Wands, holding on to something. You need to let go of it. Okay, it tells me that's completion, though. There's 2 completions that need to happen. So release all this extra baggage that you have. Or let it go. Telling me that's the biggest obstacle for you with that Hanged Man that started this. Is the reason why it hasn't happened yet, because there's some release that needs to go on. But once you do that, I feel that you're going to make some great progress. So within 7 years of how we look at it, it tells me, though, that could be within a year. It could be within 2 years. It just really depends on, I want to feel with Pentacles, that's long, slow moving, especially when it comes to 7 of Pentacles. So it tells me it's going to be very successful when you do meet someone. And it's going to be beautiful for you. It's a turning point for you. So it tells me it's inevitable. It's your destiny, and it will happen. But you need to release some of these things, okay? Deanna, I hope that resonated with you, and thank you for the super chat. Candace Owens. Oh, that's Candace Owens. That's an actress. That's all she's doing is playing a part. You think that these people that they have on Fox News and all these people they put on the TV, and you think that they really give 2 shits about who's conservative and who's liberal? No, they don't. Their job is to be paid to put out a message, no matter what that message is, even if it sounds condescending to the other sides. It's to cause distraction and cause disruption. It's all that these people are. They're just actors and actresses shooting for a movie script. That's all it is. They get paid to say what they say. And I don't have anything personal against her, but just telling you that there's a reason why that these people pop up. That's why Fox News is the thorn in the side of CNN and Fox and ABC, and One American News is the thorn in the side of even Fox News and CNN and so on and so forth. It's all division. They want you to pick a side. Pick a side. Even with this MAGA shit. It is a good make America great again. Don't get me wrong. I'm a total supporter of 45 only because I had dreams directly from God when I asked for them multiple times for him, and he was on the side of the light every time I got the message from Trump through God. Every time he was through the light in very detailed dreams. So that's the only reason why it keeps me hopeful that he's not a scumbag like the rest of them. So, because they're all scumbags that are in those positions, all of them. I'm sorry to say that, even for people you might like. So they all are on the same agenda. They're all paid by the same bankers. All leads back to the crown. So the MAGA thing, even that's a division. Either you're MAGA or you're not. That's a division. You're either a Democrat or you're a Republican. That's division. You're either liberal or conservative. That's a division. That's like 3 or 4 divisions right there just from one little thing, literally. So this is what this whole thing is division, division, division. Divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's what they've been doing from the beginning of time because I hate to say this, we're too freaking stupid to figure this shit out and make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. So that's the reason why this stuff happens. That's a true story. Per Ishmael, he said there were Earths on different dimensions. Yeah, there are. There's infinite dimensions. Like I mentioned before, there's infinite dimensions that we travel throughout our day. We go from the lowest dimension to the highest dimensions and everything in between there. When we astral travel, sometimes we interact with different timelines and parallel universes, all that stuff. I'm telling you, we are everywhere. Our energy is everywhere. Let me just look to make sure there's no more questions here. I wanted to see Muse. I was going to look at hers. I think I did a couple of questions for her and I wanted to see. Nice. Yeah, Lady D is good. I like Lady D. It's good stuff. Lady D she's a good reader. She's got some things. Moonchild me, thank you very much. That's how I have to read, though. I could do a red card for yes and black card for no until yes or no, but I don't do that way. If I read that way, they would take my gift from me. I have to help. I have to educate. That's why when you hear me stop talking, I may talk a lot when I do educate because that's what needs to come out. But once I stop and it tells me to stop, I just stop. I shut up. Like it cuts me off. So that's why it's just, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's just something that I do. Same thing with somebody who complained on the other channel when I do with the show with Jason. We do a very good show. And we were brought together for a reason. And somebody said, your co-host talks too much. Well, guess what? I'm going to talk because I channel when I talk. I just don't talk from my head. I channel when I talk. So what comes out, comes out. And if you sit and listen, instead of saying it's boring, if you sit there and listen, you may pick something up because you can listen, but you may not hear it. There's a difference. You can listen, but you may not hear it. So maybe it's time to hear instead of listen, because these messages I get come directly from spirit, not from my own interpretation, my own bullshit that I want to put out into the world, nothing like that. Because like I said, all praise, and I'm just a messenger, and it's all praise goes to God, period. So when will be a good time to move to the East Coast? Let's find out. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. You know, that's what everyone calls me. All my friends and family have called me that since I was a kid, a boy. They still call me that. Jay. Funny. That's also the same nickname that Jason Bryan was called from his family and friends growing up, was Jay. That's another coincidence we have. There's, like, he said something to me today that blew my mind, blew his own mind how he said it, because he said he got, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but the similarities and the things that have gone on between him and I, that more I've gotten to know him more and more and more that we've talked, is he's like a younger version of me. That's what it literally is. Like the synchronicities are just so, it's crazy. Like there's no coincidences. I mean, our names alone, his last name is the name of my real father that I never knew. I mean, it's crazy. Like he's got a daughter. I got a daughter. That's the only kids we have. So he was a teacher, or, you know, helps children. I was a coach for years and years until I retired here a few years back. I used to train athletes all the time, all the way through, from elementary school all the way up to the semi-professional level to try to get him to the NFL. So football players, everything, basketball players. I've coached basketball, football. So crazy how things are. We're just both in the education field, just different fields. So I'm telling you, it's blows your mind when you find these things out. All right, Colleen, let's find out when the good time to move to the East Coast will be. I say within the next 4 months, possibly. I have the Queen of Wands, so it tells me you're determined to do this, okay? And this is something that tells me you want to do. You've been planning it for some time because it tells me the Seven of Swords, this has been a strategy of yours. You've been wanting to leave. You want to depart. But I have the Knight of Pentacles, so it tells me you've been putting a lot of work into this, manifesting this. It tells me this is something you've been working on. But I have the Hangman. So the Hangman tells me like it's been delayed. There's some things that you've been putting off, okay? So it tells me, though, that there's a change is coming for you. Tells me the Two of Wands. This tells me that there's plans. You keep making your plans. You're making progress. So you will leave home. Tells me you will leave where you are now, okay? Because I have the Queen of Swords. So it tells me because you're going to be clear-minded. You're going to have this, you're going to have a better understanding of, or understanding. We don't want to stand under. You're going to have a good understanding of what's going on. You're going to have a little more clarity of saying, okay. So it tells me they want you to remain strong. Okay. You're going to be independent. So I feel like this move is going to give you some independence in your future because I have the Four of Pentacles. So it tells me maybe within the next 4 months that you're going to be moving. So it tells me you're going to be okay. It tells me financial, you're going to be secure. And it tells me that this is something that you've manifested. Okay. It's going to be a good investment for you is what you're doing for your move. And the Star card. So yes, tells me to remain calm. This is going to bring you renewal. So this move is going to bring you renewal. So I don't know if you're going to move near the water or somewhere closer to where there's trees and water. I feel like this is a rejuvenating place for you. And it's meant to be. So the Five of Swords tells me you've had some conflicts. That's holding up my reading. So the Five of Swords tells me you've had maybe some conflicts or disagreements possibly. Even conflicts with your own self, maybe some disagreements from others about what you should do. That tells me like this is the Hangman part of this. This is the awakening. This is looking at things from a different perspective. This is the releasing of something and the change of something that's coming for you. Okay, so this is what needed to happen. So it tells me like this is moving. So I feel within the next 4 months. So keep making those plans that you're going to move within the next 4 months. And I feel that you're going to be able to do so if you choose to do. Hope that resonated with you, Colleen, and thank you for the super chat. Deb has a question in the chat. Let me see if I can find it. I was told I was in Holy Land times of Jesus and in 1656 was a member of the Emerald Order and Arcturian Council. Where in Europe should I go to upgrade my DNA or a spiritual landmark near Pensacola? Pensacola, Florida? I was just in Pensacola. Like February. Nice place. Hope that's what you're talking about. Well, let's find out. I'm going to use my ancestor cards in this one. So the first card I have is the Great Teacher. That's Jesus. You asked me when you talked about Jesus, there's your answer. You were in there with Jesus, okay? You had he was a teacher of yours. So it tells me like he was a spiritual teacher and you've learned a lot. So this is what you're going to be guided. I have the guardian angel. So it tells me you have a lot of guardian angels around you. So it tells me that you're being guided. I feel like you've been looking at places in Europe, or you've been drawn to that for some reason to Europe, is what I keep getting. And the hunter. So it tells me though that this is something that you're tracking down as a hunter. So it tells me you're trying to find a place. Is what they're telling me right now with the hunter is that there's something like this is something that you've been wanting to do for some time now. Because I have the traveler, so you will travel. There is travel, and I'm trying to get a place for you specifically, but I haven't gotten anything yet. But it tells me that this place that you're going with the traveler card is going to help you move in a new direction. Okay, so it's going to be a turning point for you. And I have the spirit fox. So this is something when it comes to opening your spirit, awakening is what I'm getting with the spirit fox. And the shield maiden. So what I'm getting is maybe where there is great battles in Europe. I keep getting a place where there was battles. You've been there before. And I'm not sure where that was in your past, but I feel like you have a tie to Europe and you were in a battle there. You were fighting. And it tells me that there's some type of, I feel like, look, somewhere where there's a great battle took place. I feel like that's a place where you need to go and renew. And I feel this summer that you might do that. So it tells me there's going to be, you need to bring your light with the summer card. You need to bring your light to where this battle is. This battle, I don't know where this battle took place, but it's somewhere in Europe or over on that side that was great. A great battle took place. That's where I feel you have a history there. And I feel like there's some energy that needs to be exchanged there for you. Because I have the fire guardian. So it tells me you're very passionate about learning this or wanting to do this. So it tells me with the fire guardian, though, that there was a lot of destruction possibly in this place, a lot of fires, there was a war that happened, a big war in this place is what I'm kind of getting. And the trader card. So it tells me that there's going to be some exchange of energy there. So it tells me you need to exchange. There needs to be some severing of what the energy is, and the exchange will be. So you're going to exchange energy. So you're going to let that go, that trauma from your past lives, and you're going to renew, and it's going to build your energy with the trader card. I have the air guardian. So this is also going to help you look and shift your perception of things. So with the air guardian tells me that you're going to take a trip over in a plane to this area. And it tells me like, this is something wherever there is a great battle. And I feel Europe, you are tied to Europe somewhere. And not so much in the Pensacola area, if that's local, or in the United States. I feel that you will go overseas. You will air travel. And I feel like this place that you're going to is going to be renewing. And the eagle. So you will take a trip in the air, and it tells me like you're going to see things from you're going to get awakenings. You're going to see things differently. So it tells me things are going to open up for you, okay? And the Lord. So this is the Lord card tells me that God is going to direct you. This is, and your guides. Jesus, I feel Jesus is going to direct you. He's going to direct you to where to go. I feel you've already kind of looked at a few places, and it's resonated with you. I don't know why I keep getting that. You've looked at some places. There's a reason why you've looked at those places, or it's been drawn into your mind because God or Jesus is talking to you. He's telling you that you're going to know where to go, but I feel it will be into Europe, and it'll be where a large battle took place. You've had a battle there in the past, and this is where you're going to exchange some energy there that needs to happen. So hope that resonated with you, Deb, and thank you for the question. Yeah, sometimes I don't get specific places. I just get signs of things, but it tells me that there will be, Jesus is in your past for sure. So there's some things that he's leading you on now. Even I feel like there's some light exchange, some healing that needs to be done with this situation. I was also told my boxer is a traveler with my baby brother I lost, and I was a time traveler and dealt with timelines. Yeah, you are. Guaranteed. All right. Let me see. Let me see here what we got. Hi, Shania, or Shayna. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can see. There's probably a question here. Hi, Jason. Can you pull some cards to see if I'm going to move away from my area by this year? Can you see if I'll be happier in a new area of BC or elsewhere? Okay. Well, happiness comes from you. That's the first message that Spirit just told me to tell you very bluntly. Happiness comes from inside, not from a location, not from people around us. Happiness comes from inside. So let's see if you're going to be moving away from where you are now. Ten of Pentacles. So yes, you are going to be moving. Tells me like this is going to be good for long-term success. Okay. Tells me that I feel like you're going to be this transfer will be for long-term is where you're going to stay. And the Three of Cups. So I feel like, I don't know if you're going to move somewhere, like you're going to have happiness there. They're telling me you're going to be friendships. You're going to develop friendships, or I don't know if you're going to be closer to friends year round or already know, or there's going to be some friendships developed there. It tells me you're going to be very happy in celebration there. And the Knight of Pentacles tells me that you're going to be independent. Okay. It tells me the fruits of your labor. So it tells me like you're going to be more sufficient, self-sufficient in this as you move. So it tells me you're taking your power back. This is something that you're looking that you're going to be meant to do because the fruits of your labor are going to pay off. And the Strength card. Strength card tells me yes, absolutely. So it tells me these are all yeses, very, very strong yeses for me. And it tells me the Strength card is that you're going to be moving. So this is something that they want you to remain strong. Okay. Have that great inner courage to move, pick up and move takes a lot. So tell me to have that great inner strength and courage that you have. This is part of your growth. Focus on that. They're telling me they want you to focus on that. And the Knight of Wands. So it tells me that be fearless. You will transition. You will be fearless when you do move. Don't do it. Be afraid. So it tells me if you are making plans, it seems like the Hermit card tells me that you're being led. If you are being moved or wanting to move, you're being led to do that. So it tells me to go inside. There's some soul searching you've been doing about maybe where you want it to end up. And it tells me like this is it tells me that you're being divinely guided for the information that you're getting. So it tells me you are going to move very much so to BC. It looks like you're going to be happier for sure. But I have the Devil card. The last thing that I get is because there's some type of attachment. There's some type of toxic energy that is attached to you right now. It could be maybe where you are now that's toxic, maybe materialistic, something along that line. There's some energy some shadow work that needs to be done. And that Devil card just tells me there's some toxic energy that needs to be released. And I feel like that's what this will do. So it tells me whatever the situation on this move that you're going to do is don't bring that baggage and that energy with you when you do move, because it tells me that this is something that will happen. And after that Ace of Swords, after that Devil card, you get the Ace of Swords. So you're going to have mental clarity. You're going to be victorious and success is coming. Okay. So it tells me you have to sever that toxic energy and that fear and lack of mindset at times with that Devil card. That's some shadow work that needs to happen. Okay. So I hope that resonate with you, Shayna, and thank you for the super chat. I like reading all the comments afterwards. So if you've had a reading from me, if you're still here, please put the comments in there, how the reading goes. I like to get getting feedback to see what's going on, because sometimes the messages that I get are fumbled for me even. And sometimes it may make sense. Sometimes it does make sense. So, and it may not make sense right away, but some of the things that I get sometimes is like a fragment grenade in the brain that sometimes after you walk away from it for a minute, it's like, okay, now you start to, wow, that really makes sense now. It expands. Things kind of just start to fall into place. Funny thing, I always have to pee after I'm done channeling. All the time when I'm done with my readings, I always have to go to the bathroom first thing. I just want to go to make sure I didn't miss any questions. That's the last thing I didn't want to do. I don't want to miss questions. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't want to go 3 hours and 35 minutes and 4 hours. So thank you. Yeah, flowing with intel. I don't even know the stuff that people are asking me half the time. So it's pretty crazy. He went on a tarot show and asked one of my woo-woo questions, and the tarot reader gave me the straight face saying, I don't know. Like, I'm not asking you, I'm asking the cards. Yeah, well, that's the difference. You see the difference? That statement is big, what you just said. I'm not asking you, I'm asking the cards. So that tells me that there's not very much channeling going there. So I'm trying to go to the bottom here, make sure I didn't miss any questions. I'm just going to go to the back. Okay, cool. I enjoy super long shows too, Jason. Learn even more. Well, good thing is I wanted to cut off the questions early tonight, just because of the fact of I know that 3 hours and 30 minutes, it doesn't do anything for me. I mean, I could go 4 hours. I could go longer sometimes, really, because I have this muscle memory built up now. But when I first started doing these 3-hour shows, I felt punch drunk afterwards, like I was in between realities. So, Linda, I'm new. Will CPS and kidnapping charges be lifted from my son and daughter-in-law? Huh. I'll look for you. Oh, one card flew out of my deck. That's the Page of Pentacles. That's with children. And that's a manifestation, and that's yes. That's the desire. Let's see. CPS. Kidnapping charges be lifted from my son. I had the Page of Pentacles, so it's something with your children for sure in the past. Okay, it tells me there's a tower moment that happened. Things were disruptive. It tells me there was something that happened. A sudden change happened. So it tells me things are going to be released though, because I have the Five of Swords. So it tells me there's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of there was a theft involved, and I do get that there is some type of energy involved with this. And I have that the 9 of Cups tells me in the future that contentment. So I feel that there's a good opportunity that's what's going to be. You're going to be content. They're going to be okay. It tells me like successful, stability. I keep getting stability. And I have the Ace of Cups, so it tells me something's going to be proposed. It's going to be good. I feel like things are going to flow again. Okay, so it tells me love. Love is going to be flowing again. It tells me things. I feel like a proposal of some type is coming. That's going to be presented, and I feel like it's going to be beneficial. And the Emperor card, so it tells me that God is intervening, and I feel like with the father figure. So it tells me that the father figure is there. He's going to be protected, and it tells me that this is something that needs to happen, and it will happen. So it tells me he's protected. Okay, it tells me to remain focused, and you're going to overcome these obstacles. And the Queen of Cups, I feel, is the daughter-in-law. So there's going to be some healing that's going to happen. There's going to be some nurturing that's going to go on from the situation. So I feel like there's going to be a turning point with this Tower card. Okay, so it tells me there's some conflicts, but this is a temporary thing. The fives are temporary, and there's going to be some contentment, and the wish comes true. Okay, so keep manifesting this. Keep manifesting that these are dropped. So I only saw your question to read it for you, because when it comes to children and CPS and all that, yeah, those guys are criminals. So keep manifesting. All will be well. Okay, I'm going to send you good energy too, Linda. So let me get that off my screen now. All right. All right. Like I said, if I gave you a reading, awesome. If you can, thank you for my reading last week about my father-in-law passing. He left us with so much abundance. Your reading was spot on. Thank you. I figured I don't remember the readings. I don't remember them usually. If I do remember, I'm only remember little bits and pieces of anything because I get it and dump it. Get it and dump it. Going to drain my Lady D this Saturday with my questions. So yeah, we're all done reading. So just stay in the. Well, the son was born on 29th birthday. Things happen for a reason. Exactly. Things happen for a reason. So as I mentioned, stay in the light, guys. Okay. I know it's a little shorter of a show than we usually do. If I did a reading for you, hopefully it resonated with you. And like I said, this isn't a reading. A lot of people don't like maybe these shows compared to like the truther stuff and all that, because it's individualized, but it's not. A lot of these readings we can take things from, because these messages, I not only do I pull for someone specific, I feel like I pull for the collective. And I even made that mention to my wife like this last week. And I said, I feel when I read for people individually, I read for the collective. It's like I get collective energy for everybody. So there's a little bit of tidbit. So what that means to me when I was even said that out loud is every one of my readings, there's a small message in there for each one of you, no matter what that is. And it's all for a reason. These things that happen, the reason why you're here, what you hear. Like I said, listen. There's a difference between listening and hearing. You can listen all day, but do you hear the message? That's the biggest message. I even said to Jason today. And because what Jason was telling me, like on his messages earlier, because we talked a lot, and he was like, brother, everything that you've told me, even from last, like when I first started reading for him a year ago, he said, everything you've told me it's been 1000% spot on point. And he says, it's like basically like you're blowing my mind with these things. And it's when you look back at the answers at the time, when they become a reality for you, it's like, wow, it's the wow moments. And that's what it's coming back to for all of you. Okay. These answers are coming from you, because when I'm asking my cards through my guides and through God, as I mentioned, I only call in specific guides now. I used to call in dragons, and I used to call in my spirit guides. I asked for protection from them or for them, or from other energies for them. And for me, but I only channel when I call in for guides to channel. I only channel God, Yeshua, my higher self, and the Holy Spirit. So that's why that these energies that I get are very pure, because I want protection. Because even when I read for you, there's attachments to you guys. A lot of you have attachments, and they're not. Some of them aren't good. Some of them are things you need to let go of and get rid of. I mean, that's the type of power you have. So that's why I feel like there's tidbits of everything that I get is for the collective. It's a healing. Every reading is a healing, and I feel like that's why I read the way I read. It's for a healing. I heal through my words, and words are very powerful. The vibration. A lot of people tell me that your words are so soothing, and you make things easy to understand, and that's the reason why. Like, it's not me. It's what I just channel, and it's the divine knowledge that we all have. We're just unlocking these answers from within. As I mentioned before, I had to download. We already have all the answers to the universe. We have all the answers to all the questions that we ever are going to ask. We have the answers already. We just have to unlock them. We have to trust that the answers that we're receiving are not interfered with our own minds and our own way of thinking, our own conditioning, because sometimes what we feel doesn't always line up with what we think. So that's the reason why that we get in our own head sometimes. And the Eight of Swords is a common card. Self-imprisonment, holding yourself back. You hold your energy back. You restrict yourself. Self-defeating thoughts. Those are the types of things that I see that are reoccurring with a lot of. The Knight of Swords is another one as well. That's, sleepless nights, fears, anxieties. That's also tells me something that to do with maybe some nightmares. Tells me a lot of worries, worrying about the unknown. Worrying about things around you, even if they seem chaotic and hectic. And we're all going through things, believe me, all of us are, financially, health-wise, spiritual-wise, family-wise. I mean, we all have this gamut that we're going through, and this is a gamut. Like, literally, this is like either you're going to let it knock you down and stay down on the ground and curl up and cry, or you're going to be a light warrior, pick yourself up, and let it build you up and say, okay, that isn't going to happen again. That's not going to happen again. And don't let it happen again. That's the biggest thing. This is an education for everyone. We're all here for an education, and not the indoctrination education. We're here to learn, and we're here to break cycles. That's why I said it earlier. That's why God is like, we keep having these reiterations of world ending, and we keep getting new world, these copies of copies, because we don't get the shit right. We continue to let the evil win. We continue to be docile and domicile, and everything is okay and all that stuff, because we don't take the action to make ourselves better. We don't live in our own true selves. That's the biggest thing that Spirit just told me right now. We don't live in our true self enough. We live in the self that we want others to see or appear to others. That's how we live. We don't live our true self. We live the self that we think others are. It's a reflection. So we put out what we think that the other person is going to reflect towards us, or at the fear of something that we put out, because we're going to act differently. We're going to say things differently. We're going to carry ourselves differently. We're going to brush our hair differently. We're going to put our different clothes on around certain men and women, or certain. And you know what? Honestly, that's the part that is the most frustrating, because we're not creating the reality and our own reality how we want it to be on your own true authentic self. We're creating your reality in these alternate realities based on, as we talked about, the decisions you make because of others and our programming and those worries and those fears. It's time to let those things go. Be you all the time. Be you in the morning, no matter if it's your kids around, your husband's around, your friends around, your workers around, if you're at work or if you're at dinner with someone, be you all the time. Be you. And I feel like even with relationships nowadays, in general, I feel like a lot of relationships are started with, I mean, not a lie, like blatant lie, but I feel like a lot of people act differently when they get into a relationship than when they get into something they've been in for some time, because it's like an audition. You're auditioning for someone, but you're not being your true authentic self. You're auditioning because you want to have that person's approval, that man or woman's approval. That's what you're looking for. So I feel like even relationships kind of start from a non spiritual connection place and a heartfelt place. It's from, I hope that I'm enough for this person. I hope I meet their approval. That's literally what we've been programmed to feel and do. And it's the same thing with the person that we're talking to, or the man or woman we're talking to, not a person, because we don't want to be a person. But it's the fact of that inner guidance, as I mentioned. You can move wherever you want. You can do whatever you want. But if your happiness comes from inside, true strength comes from inside. No one can give you that. God gave you that, but it's up to you to pull it out of yourself. The answers are locked inside of you. When I give you answers, it's just a reciprocation of the answer that you give me, and your guides and your higher self give me, because that's what I ask. I ask specifically for the higher self of the question asked, the person who asked the question. Keep saying person tonight. Stop saying person. For the man or woman who asked the question, and then from there, it's literally like I asked for your guides or of the highest light, or your higher self of the highest light. And that's who I asked specifically. And that's the answers that I'm getting is just reciprocated from you. So the validation is just a good thing to do. And it's a good thing that people like to hear. And it's something about the validation, being validated. That's the biggest message Spirit is giving me right now is you're already validated. When God created you, you're already validated. That you're enough. And these energies of meeting the right person, keep saying to you, another person. Keep meaning, so the worries or the thoughts of, will I meet the right man or woman? Are they that special man or woman coming into my life? Is this something that's going to happen? When your energy is at the place where it needs to be, you will attract like energy. And I told this, and I'm not trying to bust my brother out, but I told Jason this a year ago. I said, you keep having these patterns happen to you because there's something that you need to break free of. I said, once you're able to do that, you're going to meet totally different men or totally different women and men in your life than you know now, because your energy is going to be at a higher frequency and in a better place. You're going to attract like energy. And he told me that was one of the things he said, man, you are so 1000% on from this. Since I've changed everything, literally the people in my life now are amazing, very high vibrational. They're love. They're of the light. They're not of the false light, or they can look great and smile on camera all pretty, but that's really not who they are in real life. They're really very bitter, and they're very dark, and they have ulterior motives of why they appear the way they do, which comes back to the conversation I just said. Being your true self all the time. Being who you really are, who you're meant to be all the time. And that's the biggest message that Spirit is saying. This is the awakening part for us. It's not the bullshit you're reading on TV, reading on the internet, all the stuff that you see on Telegram and all these other social media sites and Q and all that. Nothing to do with that awakening. The awakening is within you spiritually. This is a battle of good and evil. And this comes back to you working on you, improving you. By you improving you, you expand the universe. You create a new timeline for the world. You create a new timeline for yourself. That's where the parallel universes and alternate timelines come into play, because the decisions you make based on you, what you feel, not what you think, that's where we can kind of get into our own way sometimes. Our quantum computer gets in the way. So change that little bit of habit, as I mentioned. If you get up every day at 6:30 in the morning, okay, get up, and then you go up, use the bathroom. Let's say you go eat breakfast, whatever it is, change it up a little, eat something different. Get up instead and get up at 5:56 instead of 6 o'clock or 6:30, whatever it is that you get up. Change it up just a little bit. Change it up. And what I mentioned, but is just give thanks every time you get an opportunity to. First thing I do when I open my eyes is I thank God. That's been the biggest transformation for me. Every time I eat something, drink something, I say thank you before I even touch it or do anything. Before I even go to bed at night, it's the last thing I do. is I tell God, thank you for everything. Thank you. Put me where you need me to be. Protect me. Protect the world. I send out vibrations to the whole world and protection of the whole world, of all the light beings who are, here and they're fighting. So, but I also send the dark to the light. I send them to God to be judged. I send them away. So that's what I want to let everyone know. Just change a little bit of your routine, just a little bit, and you'll see a difference, and a surprise difference of how you think, how you change. Your mentality is going to change because you reprogram that quantum computer energy that's inside of you, that soul. Everything is quantum. Everything is just radiates. So it tells me you need to kind of reprogram that so you don't get stuck in that matrix, that black cube of death, that Saturn's cube. We want to get out of that stuff. We don't want to be stuck in that dark cube that we were stuck in, that matrix. We want to break out of it. And that's how we break out of it as a collective, is by breaking out of it individually. And the more of us that do that, the more awakening happens, the faster this timeline moves, the faster we get to the end point, and the faster we can get to a place of renewing and rebuilding. And as I mentioned, when this system crashes, because it will crash, even if they kick the can a little bit down the road, they have this is a done deal with the financial system. So you're going to see some crazy things start to develop with the financial crashes. So that comes a time where stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. Even if things seem crazy, just stay in the light. Okay, stay in the light. I feel things that I know there's a lot of, I don't give dates and all that, because things have come that we've expected in the past and we got goose eggs. But I feel energetically we're getting to the precipice. I feel it. I know it. So when it comes to that, once the precipice is here, we're at the peak. It's like a roller coaster. That thing is just going to start to take off. So I am with Source and Source is with me. Yes, sir, Chuck. That's correct. So be a warrior. As we mentioned, I'm going to leave you at that. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. That means prepare for these earthly battles. Prepare for these things, spiritual battles that you're doing. You're preparing. You're doing those. You're getting your mental capacity filled. You're filling your cup, is what they're telling me. You're filling your cup with knowledge. You're filling your cup and your spirituality with things. So it tells me that keep doing that. Keep doing that. That's preparing for this battle. You've been in this battle. So it tells me, though, that you're ready. So when the time comes, you're that gardener. You're going to be a warrior, prepared warrior, but you're going to be in a garden, the Garden of Eden, whatever that looks like for you. You're going to have abundance. You're going to be okay. You're going to have security, but you're prepared for that. But we need, in order to move forward, we have to know where we came from. That's why we're seeing these things unravel the way that they're unraveling very slowly. And so we don't live the same mistakes over and over. That's why this keeps happening. History repeats itself is not just a catchphrase. It's because we've allowed it to happen this way. But we've changed that. The light is already won. I've seen it. Okay. I know it. And I hope that you all have peace in your heart to know, even when things look so opposite, you're just constantly barraged with things that you read and see that are opposite. It's the opposite of really what's going on. So whatever you read online or hear from the news or TV, think the exact opposite, and that's exactly what it will be. That's what everything that, if they're making a point to tell you or put it online in multiple places about things, think the opposite of that, because that's what they want you to know. It's always the opposite. That's what inversion, they put it out like things are going the way they are, and it's inverted. That's what the dark does. They invert things. So this is a way for everyone to get woken up. And I feel there's going to be some betrayals and some things coming up with some finances and things like that. I feel like that's going to be a big precipice moment. So check out tomorrow night, guys. 5:15 Pacific time, 7:15 Central time. Jason and I are going to be dropping some truth bombs tomorrow, like we always do. And our job is to push this stuff out. And I was so happy that he reached out to me right away and says, hey, you want to come on with me? I know, whatever the situation is that we've had in the past, and And it wasn't so much he and I, but I mean, there was a situation. And I said, absolutely, and we hadn't talked for months and months, literally probably at least 6 months. I hadn't talked to him. And out of nowhere, literally, he called me and we talked and hit it up like it was like there was no separation whatsoever. So we're divinely guided for that show. And I know that there's a lot of, the support and the feedback has been amazing for how that show is going, as well as the divine feminine that he brings on, which is amazing. So that's a good balance for everyone because that's a different show. That divine feminine that you see is a different show than what Jason and mine's are. It's literally a Prince of Peace and the Soldier of Light. Literally, we're bringing truth bombs. We're going to expose the dark, and this is something that we're guided to do. And all of your support helps push that message. So it's all in the it is all in the past. So we got some big truth bombs that we're going to bring out, and we're going to always touch base with the little ones. I'm going to call out a family or two by name tomorrow that's involved in this trafficking. I may even call out a judge in the state of Texas. So depending on the message I get from Spirit, if I should, but I'm definitely going to start calling people out. If I know that you're involved in this stuff and I get it in my cards that you're involved, I'm going to start calling you out. I'm going to call you out by name. So, but it's good. So stay tuned. Great stuff, guys. Stay in the light. As usual, shine that light so bright that others have no choice but to see it vibrate and radiate so brightly and divinely like God intended. That's what your mission is. Increase your light, increase your love, increase your integrity. I feel like a lot of integrity is always fluctuated and it fluctuates with people because of the things around them. So they're telling me stay in the integrity, stay straight, believe, trust that God has a plan, not the plan that you see. God has a plan, and it's working according to His will. So in His mercy, He is going to have mercy on us. You'll see. For the ones that are deserving of the mercy, God will show mercy. The ones that aren't deserving of the mercy and deserve vengeance and some, I guess you want to say some justice, that's exactly what they're going to get. I know that. So awesome, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in very much so. If you haven't, go back and watch that little clip that I did the other day, this last week on the financial system. I feel very strongly. I've been getting so many things with finances lately, just even without cards, finances. So when there's smoke, there's fire. So Spirit's just telling me that there's something ramping up when it comes to the financial system. So, okay, guys, I'm going to go back and read all of your beautiful comments right now for all the show. Thank you guys for all the questions and the donations that you guys have done. If you keep staying in the light, thank you for your support. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you get a chance, check out my nephew Austin's channel, which is in my description, as well as the Light Network. That description is in there for some of you who may not have subscribed over there yet, because this is an alternate channel for that Light Warrior Network. And my nephew Austin is God-given voice, very soothing. So I feel like many of you will enjoy his voice. So love you guys. Thank you for all your hard work, staying with us, staying in the light, being the warrior that you are. All will be well. We're all going to be abundant on the other side of this. I know it. We're going to be secure. We're going to be happy. A beautiful new world is here. God is making it happen through us. So it is. So it shall be. Love you all. Soldier of Light, out.